welcome to this episode of the Cade Friends podcast. I am joined this week by Kenna Stimson and Andrew Nichols. So, long applause. No, that was a lot.
What? As they started again?
So how are you guys doing?
Good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Kenna's the real guest here. Andrew's just ancillary. He's just he's here to operate the board, and at the end we're going to give him a performance review. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sound good?
Oh God.
This is all for a grade. This is all going to appear on your record.
On my permanent record.
Your permanent record.
All right, cool.
It will influence the way we feel about you for years to come.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Friend or foe?
Friend or foe?
This is true permanent record stuff. Okay. Well, so how you guys doing? You guys doing good?
Good. Now that we've officially started recording, I'm
Yes.
very like.
Now it's official. It's nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so.
It is, but it's like I'm like.
Yeah. It's a normal conversation with a microphone in your face, right, Andrew?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
You can add more than just yes or no to things.
It is absolutely one of the best experiences you'll ever have.
Oh, okay. There you go. There we go.
You wanted me to amp it up a little, and I amped it up a little.
See his face? He was like,
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that response. Yes.
Yeah. Great.
You're welcome.
Well, so how would you describe yourself, Kenna, first off?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's my least favorite interview question. So
I'm sorry.
I'd like to start with that.
Okay, that's
whenever,
good. Is it we've
job
had
interviews.
we've had it described like it's like first day of class sort of question. Like
Yeah.
and you're kind of put on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myself, Tulsa native.
Yes.
I love to travel. Mm-hmm. And I am a very creative person.
Yes.
Yes.
And all of those can be found in my Instagram bio. At Kimbo Ben.
Yeah, good. Plug it up top. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's important to say we all know each other through our university.
Yep.
And we're all videographers, photographers. Almost you guys do a little bit more photography than I do, but we camera.
You do it.
We camera.
Yes.
We camera.
I was going to say, you do it too. And you do a fairly good job.
Oh.
I love your stuff.
Oh, thank you. That's just stuff I've taken on my phone over.
Still though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, with photography?
Yeah.
Yeah. On your Instagram?
Yeah. It's mostly the filler content, so it's not all, hey, listen, look at my podcast. Which you should. You should look at my podcast.
Yes.
I'll advertise my podcast on my podcast.
You should definitely look at it. Definitely look at his podcast.
Yeah.
Look at
I don't know
it.
if you guys have thought about this, the listeners, but Cade Friends might be something you'd be interested in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Especially if you're listening.
If you're listening and you're enjoying this, you should subscribe or whatever.
You should definitely do it.
Yeah. You should
Subscribe.
rate us 5 stars or whatever.
Otherwise, we're all kind of just
We're just,
sitting here
Sitting
talking.
here. And we don't want to have a conversation unless
No.
it's being recorded. Yeah.
Unless it, you know, we have the potential to reach an audience with it. Why even speak?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If, much like if a tree fell in a forest and no one heard it, did it really fall? If we're talking and there's no microphones around and it's not being broadcast, did it even really happen?
Right. Do we even
Yeah.
talk to each other?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. It's
Exactly.
We probably only exist on the screens in which people view us on. We probably don't
this is
exist.
getting actually a little bit deep.
Are you saying that we only exist in television screens?
Yeah.
Tiva.
Yeah. In that or phone screens. Yeah. I mean, if people don't know
Fair
us,
enough.
that's all we are.
Fair enough.
That's possible. There's a lot of people that I guess follow Andrew from his photography that only know him from Man Who Posts Deer or building.
That is true.
You're a
Like
building guy.
yeah, that is true. Like I do have a lot of followers who I have never met. Mm-hmm. And
What's your demographic like, Andrew?
Yeah.
demographic. Ooh.
I have an idea of what they are, but I'll wait and see here if you describe them.
You may not know.
I really don't know.
You may not have ever checked that out.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like when I post pictures, it's for anybody. Anybody
Yes.
can look at them. But if
But who mainly like follows?
Yeah, who
you
mainly
and
follows
interacts
you?
with
It seems to be more, at least, I mean, like that's just in social media in general. The more commenters are kind of like a female base, right?
Actually, yeah. Now that you mention it,
Like a middle-aged female base, kind of.
middle-aged female base. I get a lot of
Tulsa, Oklahoma natives.
yeah, and some of them are from like Kansas City and the Kansas area. Mm-hmm. So,
Are they from here? Or they just found your stuff?
some are from here. Some are like friends of relatives of people I have never met before.
Yeah.
And some of these people are just random. Random. I have never met them, never heard of them before, but they have no problem like commenting on my stuff.
Welcome to being a woman on social media.
Yeah. Which
No problem. Just being like,
Yeah.
hi, can I smell your hair? Wow, you look really fat today.
Do you get a lot of do you get a lot of comments in general from people?
Comments?
Yeah.
Like on my actual
Yeah.
pictures? No, mostly all from Andrew.
Oh my God.
when people want to be creepy and weird, they usually slide into the DMs.
Oh, it's the DMs thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's where you get some weird people.
gross.
Are they people you know, or are they just
No.
random? Oh,
Yeah, they're random people.
people that stumbled
And
on your
people I
account,
know.
or like mutual people, like people that
Sometimes they'll be mutual. Sometimes they'll be
just a random person.
random guy. Yeah.
And is it mostly Instagram? Or is it?
Yeah,
okay.
actually, yeah. I never really got that on Facebook. Some women get a lot on Facebook. I never did.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's odd. Do you get a lot of DMs, Andrew, from people?
Very, very rarely.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't ever get any DMs.
Yeah.
I get spam stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's mainly it. Like if it's spam, I'll call it out.
You'll call it out. What do you mean you call it
I'll
out?
not call it out.
You spammer.
Yeah.
You're
Go.
spamming.
Go away.
Yeah. Hey, I don't like you. You robots.
No, I'll report it to like either
Oh,
Facebook.
you'll report it. You're Mr. Reporter.
Kind of, yeah.
I also report spam.
You're a sports spam.
I don't support
You support,
spam.
you support
You
spam.
support spam?
I report it.
No, I don't think I ever do anything to it. I delete it and ignore it.
You're part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem.
This is why they run amok.
You think that's you guys you're saving it by reporting it?
I don't know. It just makes me feel better in my mind.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, I know that this probably does nothing at all, but it's a placebo.
Well, like so the ones that you get on like your phone, like those group things or whatever, those stuff. What do you do with those? Just delete them, or
I just say leave me alone and I
Group
delete
things.
you say leave me? You text leave me alone?
them. Yeah.
Oh, he responds to the spam.
I feel like that's less than helpful. Okay.
So yeah.
Whatever
no,
helps
like-
Andrew sleep at night. You know what I mean? Like if he needs
tells
to tell them all
Yeah, leave
first,
me. Hey, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me alone.
No, but like I've had several times when, like you get like spam texts.
I don't think I've ever gotten spam.
I have
Really?
Maybe a few.
That's bizarre.
Maybe a
like
few. I got one that was like all in some Asian
Oh, really?
script.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, what is this? And it freaked me out. I translated it though, and it was just like a regular spam message. Like, my cousin fell in a well and I need $8,500 to get him out.
Yeah.
oh okay. Did you
To
give
buy a lassie dog.
did you give
to
him
fish him out.
Did you give him $8,500?
Of course, yeah.
Well,
And then I was like, leave me alone. Here you go,
Now
though.
on your
What about your cousin? Obviously.
so you manage social media things. Do you get spam on those at all?
I would say that running we've just started getting spam that are responding to people who are
People.
talking to us.
Yes, that happens often.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, I tried to friend you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a big thing on Facebook. I was wondering if you had that too, of that where, cause yeah, it'll be something we'll get on ours. There'll be someone who would like say that they're a common one. There's a few different ones. There's ones that's like, they act like they're like a military person and they'll be like, all their photos are like of like some General Petraeus or some 5-star general, and they'll be like, hey, I tried messaging you, please, I'd like to, or I saw your profile picture and I'm trying to message you, and so there's that, and it's often going after these like older women.
Yes.
This is like they're so there's that one. There's one that's like a dog photo. I'll tell you, one of them was the most bizarre one. That was like it was like trying to like do like emotional warfare. It felt like, because they were like, you have the same name as my dead sister. Oh my so this one, they said this to a few different people. And it's like, you have the same, oh my goodness, you have the same name as my dead sister. And you even kind of look like her. You should add me as a friend because yes, I don't know what the end goal of that was, but but the point was that was their end, is that like, you have the same name as my dead sister.
And you kind of look like her.
Yeah, and you kind of look like her.
Wow.
All right.
So I don't know who would fall for that, of like, or just like who would want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna friend this person who I resemble their dead sister.
And have the same name.
Yeah.
That's crazy coincidence.
It is crazy coincidence.
That is insane.
Yeah. Well, so you do a lot of videography, right? And photography stuff. We all do.
Yep.
Yes. And that's what you enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you enjoy about that?
I like are you talking?
No, I said sorry. I popped my finger.
I thought you were like mouthing something to Cade, and I was like, I don't know what to expect. So I'm like, what's
this isn't interesting enough.
We're done. Wrap it up. I like photography because, I guess I like both because it kind of like captures and saves moments. Mm-hmm. And I know that's like the most cliche thing to say about it, but I've been doing it since I was like 10. Mm-hmm. And being able to look back and have kind of like this record of like me pretending to be on a late night talk show when I was 8, or not 8. Mm-hmm. I just said I did it when I was 10, but 10, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a sweet little memory that I probably would have forgotten about if I hadn't recorded it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to look through those kinds of things and remember.
Yeah.
It's like memories. It's creating little digital memories.
That's cool.
It's also kind of scary. It's like now our phones and cameras are our memories instead of our brains.
Because you don't have to remember some of the stuff you had to anymore. Do you feel like your brain's, your brain's getting dumber as technology goes on? Do you think that? I feel like I've lost a little bit.
I definitely feel like that, because like when you're sitting there and you're scrolling on your phone, you just feel like there's nothing, like, you know, there's nothing here. We have this advent of like great technology. I mean, like 50 years ago, we didn't have this stuff. We'd have to go to in order to make a phone call, you'd actually have to pick up a landline and call it. Now we can just scroll everything we wanted to. And the thing is that like having that at your fingertips kind of, I don't know, brings it down a little bit.
You know what? I was thinking that about streaming the other day. Like being able to stream basically anything you want anytime kind of has really cheapened the experience.
I agree.
There used to be able to, this is the one show, everyone went and saw it. It's playing for that one night on TV.
It comes on at this time.
It comes on
at this time.
You got to catch it. Everyone's talking about, because everyone has this collective experience of sharing this moment in this episode.
Yeah.
And now, like, if you mention something, it's like, oh, it's on my watch list.
It's on my watch list.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree with that, because like there's...
I binged the entire series in 3 days.
And you don't really have like that of like someone, well, I'm behind or whatever. And so you really can't ever like have those moments of like where you can talk about them, because everyone's on different things or whatever.
Yeah. And even movies, like why even go to a movie theater anymore if you can just stream it right to your living room?
Or it's going to be there in 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
not even sometimes. Like sometimes it's literally the next week it's on a streaming service.
So like an example of that would be like Bob's Burgers.
Exactly.
The Bob's Burgers movie came out on Memorial Day of this year. It's now on HBO.
It has
been.
And has been for
I didn't know that.
bit. Yeah.
And we're in the middle of July. That's crazy to me, because I remember it, like, I mean, when you had to wait for video, I'm looking at your movie collection over here. Batman Forever came out in like July of 1995. it didn't come out on video until October that year.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they were even longer for some other movies. Like it takes a bit for them to become on video. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And like now it's just so easy. Like to, going to the movies, this isn't what it used to be. And I love going to the movies.
And the last few times I've been, it's just been like empty theaters. Like it just feels like.
And they've been building up slightly. It's the sad thing is that there's more of these peaks and valleys of like everyone goes out to see the Tom Cruise or the Marvel thing or whatever, but then like no one shows up for the.
It's the giant blockbusters that are the
Bob's
draw.
Burgers.
No one shows up for the Bob's Burgers. Like, the real indie movies of our time, the Bob's Burgers.
I mean, yeah. Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Bars.
Yeah.
When I went and saw the Bob's Burgers movie, I sat by myself in an empty theater.
Oh, really?
When we went, it was just my family. Like it was just
Really?
the group of us that decided to go, which was great.
If that makes sense that they were going to have that short of a window, I'm sure. And if that was, was that well known that was going to only be in theaters for that short of a time?
I didn't know.
It came out the same weekend that
Top Gun.
Top Gun came out.
Did it?
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone was in Top Gun.
Yeah, which
And
that was
then
the biggest movie.
A few of us who appreciate true indie art were in Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Those of us that really, I didn't see it because I don't support indie movies. I don't like them. No.
Cade, the door's over there.
Andrew and I are finishing this podcast.
So
you put me in control of this board. With great power comes great responsibility.
yeah. Well, no, thank you for doing it. Yeah. But, so we all do different things. So would you consider yourself more of a documentarian? I mean, you haven't done like a lot of us. I mean, I haven't done a movie in a bit either. I mean, is that something that, what do you lean at on that? Narrative or documentary?
Between the two, I generally prefer documentary just because I prefer like creating real stories. I don't know. I also prefer reading like biographies and autobiographies to fiction. So I'm much more, I always kind of lean towards that just in life is hearing like real human stories.
Yeah.
But as far as like, creativity wise, like I love acting in a good narrative. And I haven't been acting in a long time. And I actually really miss doing narrative film.
Yeah.
Like having the script and moving from scene to scene and blocking it all out. And I mean, it's fun.
It is fun. Yeah.
And then seeing the finished product is always really cool too. So
yes, it's been so sort of tough with everything of like trying to get back to a time. Cause I mean, I know that I've kind of feel like I've slacked off on some of my filmmaking things,
yeah.
for your career or whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like, especially writing, because I love writing. And I don't think I've written anything in almost 2 years.
Yeah. Well, the pandemic's been awful for that.
Pandemic sucks.
Yeah.
For coming together and making something, it's been absolutely terrible.
Yes.
Because I know we were meeting up before
Yes.
to write, and once that happened, it was just done.
Yeah, 2020 happened.
Yeah.
Did it happen?
So what was that like? I mean, let's walk through that experience, guys.
Of 2020?
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big thing. It kind of halted everything, it very much, it kind of brought to a standstill a lot of stuff. I mean, there were some positives to that. I think a lot of people did some introspection maybe with that time. And certainly to a certain extent, I liked some of that, but then so much of it, like, I feel like I lost quite a bit of good time in my life with that.
I totally agree.
That was, I mean, within our respects, I mean, that was 2 years of our 20s that we've lost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which it feels like, you've been cheated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree. Cause like, I mean, for me, it's like, I'm in my mid 30s. And so like the entire year of 35, I couldn't do anything. Yeah. Doing anything. I mean, doing something you wanted to do just was, very difficult because you have that impending fear of like, I hope I don't get sick.
I had just started a job, and my boss did not believe it was real or a problem.
Yes.
So that was
And you no longer work there, but
I no longer work there. It's not anybody that I currently work for.
Yes. And I know that was a tough time for you with that whole thing. And
Yeah. That was an unfortunate, I feel like if I had landed somewhere else right before the pandemic, it would have maybe been even a little better than that place. But
yeah, I mean, I worked from home through most of that stuff. So it was very sort of isolating and very sort of and you would think that certainly during that time I did a lot of editing. I edited Laura and I re-edited Ribbon again and got to, I think, into a better spot. But it felt like, I just, nothing else. It didn't feel like writing. It just never felt like the right time. And I literally just now started getting back into writing. And
good for you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been just recently that I've started to kind of go back to thinking about what I want to do and things. Up until recently, I think it's just been survive.
Yeah.
Just make it through the day. Make sure you're set up to be okay, and that's it. And so just recently, I feel like I'm like, well, now what? Now we can kind of do.
Now you can kind of figure out with things. Yeah.
Well, I think it's this weird thing of it's like what you said just a second ago. We've been put into this survival mode since March of 2020. And now it's like the floodgates have been open. It's like, whoa, what do we do now?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel, honestly. Because there's times when I want to go to places and I'm like, well, we may have another COVID scare, which we kind of do right now.
We do right now. Yeah.
But at the time of this recording, we have the BA.5. Is that what it's called? It's it's a variation of Omicron.
It's the new the new strain.
And two people I know just recovered from it.
I've had COVID twice.
Yes.
And I've been fully vaccinated and boosted.
Yeah. Alex, friend of the show, often he had COVID twice at least. I don't know, it might have been 3 times, but I know he at least had twice, and he was, vaccine boosted. Yeah. Well, the first time was before that was around,
Yeah, right. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he was vaccine boosted and then got it. And it's just kind of it's interesting. And I have yet to have anything with it. I've been very.
And what's crazy is some people don't get it, and they are should have totally gotten it.
Yeah, there are people out there that's.
I'm not saying you should have gotten COVID, Cade, but I'm saying it's
that there are people out there that
who have been totally
open and went around. Yeah, I agree, and it's
don't get it,
and it's possible that of course that I could have had it and been asymptomatic. No. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I mean, there was a section there that I was tested twice a week that I did not have it for I don't know, almost a year there that wasn't the case. But, but I haven't had it since I really truly haven't been sick in that sort of respect for a while, which I've been very happy about. But I'll look back on these times as the good memories whenever I do get sick, because that always happens.
Yeah. And then you're like, God.
You walked through your whole life just being all healthy.
Out of 2 nostrils at the same time.
Yeah, you didn't even know how good you had it.
I didn't know this up until January, but my dad had it last August.
But he never told you?
Well, he didn't know that he had it.
What are you saying? He got tested later and because of the antibodies or something?
Yeah. So what happened was that he had to get blood drawn, and he got his blood drawn. And the next day the doctors called him and were like, "Hey, when did you have COVID?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." He said, "Well, you still have antibodies and you're flowing in your bloodstream." And he's like, "Oh," and when he called me up, he was just like, "Well, I had COVID." This was right after Christmas, so I'm getting scared. I'm like, "Do I need?" I
just saw you.
Yeah, I was literally right next to you, and he was like, "Oh, this must have been about 6 months ago," and I'm like, I'm like, why didn't you tell anybody? He's like, oh, I didn't find out until yesterday. And I'm like, I have so many questions. So,
wait a second.
so he told me, he said, oh, well, I remember this time I was feeling kind of sick back in August. And I'm like, okay, well then you probably had it. He's like, yep, I guess I did.
Did you have it?
No, I didn't. Knock on wood.
Okay.
So you never had it
Never
either.
had it.
I have not had it. I've had a couple.
For the both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've had a couple scares. Like,
Close people. Yeah.
I work at a school, so I come in contact with people all the time. And
Oh,
then you-
yeah.
And then you hear kids. I had people that were working with me who tested positive on a Saturday, and they told me on a Sunday.
Tim. He's the one I was talking about earlier.
Who should have had it? Yeah.
and have not
Have not.
miraculously.
Miraculously. Yeah.
Knock on wood.
This is not real wood, so you might
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
knock on your head. How do we go from wood to your head? What is?
I don't know. I've always seen
Where
that.
did
and I'm
that
like,
start? I wonder.
Are you gonna ask Google? How would you frame that as a question? That's always the tough thing when you have to figure out how to phrase it as a question.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
What's the origin of knock on wood?
Yeah. You want to ask it?
it's like,
I don't know. Can
or
it?
or like, hey Google, how did you?
Is that what it's there for? Just random questions
Random
throughout.
questions if you got it. So go
Do
ahead.
I have to say
yeah,
it?
Say
Okay.
hey Google.
Hey Google.
It's on.
Oh, what is the origin of knock on wood?
On the website TED.com, they say, knocking on wood is thought to come from the folklore of the ancient Indo-Europeans, or possibly people who predated them, who believed that trees were home to various spirits. Do you want a little more context?
Yes.
Knocking on wood is thought to come from the folklore of the ancient Indo-Europeans, or possibly people who predated them, who believed that trees were home to
Wait,
various
it's the same
spirits.
sentence?
It's the same.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Google.
That was more context.
Yeah,
it was like the Kesha song.
Yeah. Which, to get that joke, you'll have to subscribe to our Patreon.
Yes.
We talk about Kesha and Satanism and Catholicism. And we try to convert Andrew to the Satan stuff.
Yeah. Satan
luck.
stuff. So we just try to convert him to Satan stuff. Just like Satan adjacent.
Yeah, some things. Yeah, and you have to subscribe to know how Andrew reacted to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, God will have to subscribe to our Patreon to know if he can be accepted.
With the pearly gates.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? I have to cough up the money. Okay, we're going to jump into our first segment. Ready? Our first segment,
I'm so
which
ready.
is titled Childhood Fears. It's titled Fears on your thing.
Oh,
Welcome to Childhood Fears. It's not that well. Great. Fears. That is music by Chrim. Chrim de la Chrim.
Creme de la creme.
Yeah.
creme de la creme.
With a show with everything but Yul Brynner. No one else would get that joke, but I got it.
I do.
Oh, you get it?
Yes, I do.
I do not. So I'm with the rest of you.
Yeah. What's that from, Andrew?
Westworld,
No.
the original Westworld.
Well, I mean, Yul Brynner is from. He was in.
Yeah, I know.
The lyric itself is it's a lyric with the
The King and I.
no. It's a
Keep guessing though.
It's a quote from a with the show with everything but Yul Brynner, or what's it? Creme de la creme with the show. It's a lyric. It's just from an '80s new wave song.
Then I
okay.
don't.
It's from a
Great guesses though.
great guess. No one else
tried.
is interested in this. And in case anyone doesn't know, I hosted an '80s new wave radio show, so I have an intense knowledge of '80s new wave. It was
He does.
a concept album made by the men who were from ABBA. ABBA. They created a concept album called Chess that was later made into a musical, Chess, and the song in it was "One Night in Bangkok," which you might know.
I know that song. Yeah.
So that's what it's from. It's from that. And that it was Murray Head was the singer for that, but it was just, that was made to be a concept to eventually go to stage, and they did eventually stage Chess. But yeah, that was the big hit song from that concept album.
Oh.
And so one of the lyrics is, with the show with everything but Yul Brynner, because Yul Brynner had a song, it's a reference to a show that Yul Brynner did in Bangkok. That's not important.
Well, now I know when I listen to that song.
Yeah.
We are educated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Hey. We are educated now.
Yeah. And what's interesting is a lot of people don't know that song, but they don't know that it was a part of a concept album that was then to like market a musical. That
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And that it was of course written by the guys behind ABBA.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Great. So this is the segment of the show, which this is childhood fears. I don't know if that was clear from what just opened it. This is just a simple question where we ask the panel, which we did ask. I think you did this, Andrew. Did you? Did you do this? Was this part of yours? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Great.
Because we talked about Disneyland, but that was not a childhood fear.
Yeah.
It certainly was one of mine.
Oh, well.
I mean, I absolutely resented Disneyland for years.
Disneyland. Why?
Made him cry.
It made me cry.
You'll have to listen to this
several
episode.
times.
Okay. All right. So childhood fears.
Yes. I was trying to see if yours. Where's Andrew? Andrew, you didn't do childhood fears.
Well, hot diggity damn.
So there you go. Childhood fears is a simple shtick where we ask. It's just a question, but we turn it into a thing. So we just ask, what was your childhood fears? Kenna, what was your childhood fears? What were some fears you had in your childhood?
So basically everything.
Oh, everything. Okay.
Yeah. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder as a child.
Oh, really?
I was, yeah. I had my first panic attack.
Two reactions. Andrew's was like, oh, and I was very.
Like, tell us more.
Wow, that's good content.
That's amazing. Yeah, and so I was like afraid of everything.
Oh.
And I had my first panic attack when I was like, I think 9.
Wow.
8 or 9.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had no idea what was going on. It was like really scary, and nobody else did either because they were like, what do you mean you can't breathe? Do you have asthma? Like, I was like, no, I'm scared. So yeah, a lot of things scared me. One of the things that carried through most of my younger years was basically being afraid of the Truman Show without ever having seen the Truman Show or known that that was already a concept. As a kid,
you just thought that
I was
in general.
afraid that someone was watching me all the time, or that people were watching me all the time.
Were you scared that other people were just actors like in your life, or were you just thinking that someone was watching you in general?
I don't think I took it that far that people were acting around me, but I did feel like
you were being watched in some sort of way.
Like
being watched, like my life was fake, or not even necessarily fake, I guess, just that anything I did was under scrutiny, I guess, which could probably go to my therapist for some analyzing. But later I grew up and I was like, why would anybody want to watch my life? Watch the embarrassing things I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That might have stemmed from religion though, with like always being watched by God,
Is that what you think
to
it's
see
from?
if you mess up. Yeah, maybe. Because I was very embarrassed about everything I did, It was like, God, I hope no one saw that,
But you were thinking that people were seeing it.
Yeah, that was
like
very
a
scary.
godlike figure, or people?
No, people.
People that you knew, or people that you didn't know, this unseen force?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was
I
it?
guess people I didn't know.
Yeah. Just like a group of unknowns.
Yeah, it was weird though because I was a little kid, so
Yeah.
I mean I didn't have a full understanding.
I can
but
see that. I can understand that.
Was it like also fear that you're being judged by others?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like judged like religiously or ethically, or
No,
just okay.
Just like as a person. Like I think I was afraid that I was like so different from everybody else that like the things I did were not normal and people
Right.
Oh, okay.
would watch and
Thought
be
you were
like, oh,
weird or something.
yeah.
Okay.
How weird is she?
Yeah.
I also was afraid that my eyeball was going to fall out for a while.
Oh, did you think it was falling out? Like in the process?
No, so I had
thought-
a dream
Okay.
where I went to the bathroom in my grandma's house and I looked up at myself in the mirror and there was just an empty socket. And then I looked down and my eyeball like rolled across the floor.
Whoa.
Okay.
And so
Pretty heavy.
yeah, it was. And so for like 2 weeks I was like sick over it. Like literally physically sick.
You like holding your eye in place?
I would like push on it and make sure it was like still in there. And then one
Was
day
that a thing that you had where like you would have like a dream and like you would think that it was going to come real in some sort of way?
I was worried about it then, yeah. This was when I was pretty young.
Was it something
Maybe.
where like you would get, because I can understand that too, of like you get something in your head and it's hard to sort of get out for whatever
Yeah.
reason it is, whether that's like some sort of,
I mean, yeah, I didn't go in that bathroom in my grandma's house for like months because I was afraid it was going to come true.
Wow.
I wouldn't go in there. I was horrified of going in that bathroom,
yeah.
which just like a little kid association, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, if I go in the bathroom, my eyeball's going to fall out.
Kind of come true, yeah.
And so my mom finally asked me about it and I was like, I think my eyeball's going to fall out. And she
Okay,
was
so
like,
you hadn't told anybody. This was something you kept.
I
when
bottled
you're-
it up. Yeah. I was just really scared and didn't
Yeah.
say anything. And she finally noticed that I was being like really weird.
Yeah. Everyone's just yelling at you just to go into that bathroom and get to that point. And you're like, no, I can't.
I can't.
Uh-oh.
And so, yeah, I finally told her and she was like, oh, that's not going to happen. Like your eye is attached.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
then I
that's
felt
what you
better.
yeah, because it's not going to.
Yeah.
It's at least got that little stem, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would at
Like-
least, if it did pop out, it'd be hanging out by a little thread.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. That should make you feel better.
Yeah.
Kids.
It wouldn't just roll
Yeah,
out.
it won't. Don't. If your eye falls out, it won't roll onto the floor. It will just
It'll
hang
just be
from
hanging on your face.
So there. That's our tip for the kids for today. Is don't worry about your eye rolling out of your head. It will just hang out by a little cord.
Now I'm going to have bad dreams. I'm going to be like,
Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
Fears growing up?
Yeah.
I had a lot of
What do you
them.
on Judge Kenna's fears?
No,
Isn't that what she was fearful of anyways? Was judgment?
being judged.
Yeah. Is that a good fear to have, Andrew?
no.
No, it wasn't a good fear to have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like he said.
He's like, that fear was trash.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about mine.
No, I had a lot of just, they were very irrational fears. Like I had fears of like, what I have fears of. These are going to sound really stupid. I had fears of germs. Like
Yes.
I had fears.
Oh wait, did we talk about this?
I think we talked about it in private. We didn't talk about it on here. But I had fears of germs. I had fears of disease. I had fears of, one of the things I had fears of was AIDS. Like,
Oh, God.
Like-
the AIDS came up
Like-
in my repertoire of fear as well.
AIDS in general that would have been more common whenever you were or like as a common fear that was like in the
'cause you're
media
old.
because you're old. In your generation, people were scared
Your
of that.
generation,
like it was that and polio,
back in my
right?
day.
Russians.
No,
Polio,
not polio, anthrax.
Oh, God. That's actually real, though.
That well, I mean, like
Yeah, polio wasn't
anthrax
real.
was a big thing back in the 30s, like a big thing.
Yeah.
But-
And we were born in 28.
Yeah,
Same year as my great grandma.
yeah. Tell us about the older days, Andrew.
Well, back in my day, there was a lot of sand
Andrew had. Why was there sand?
What's the dust
because it
bowl?
was the dust bowl. And just
I followed him.
I didn't know which era we were in, and there was just a lot of sand for some reason.
it just came right out of the ground.
Was
and
it sand or dust?
I think it was
A little
well,
bit of both.
it was a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Everybody
Grain, general.
Because back in the day, what you could do is just
Okay, well,
dig-
tell us about the AIDS.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, why did you have a fear of AIDS?
Oh, well, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. It was just horrifying to me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
The other one, what is it?
Well, West Nile was what was mine with because I thought I was going to get a mosquito to bite me and I was going to get that stupid West Nile.
yeah, I did too. Because it broke out.
Meningitis.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Crap out of me.
Yeah.
Especially when they had like an outbreak. I think that they had an outbreak over in Ulaga.
They did when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they like some kid had to have it's the type, I guess there's different types of meningitis.
Yeah.
So this type of meningitis was the type that you couldn't get antibiotics from. If you got it, they had to like amputate. There was like a case of, there was a case of a kid who he was like 6 and he had his arms and legs amputated and like pieces of his face like taken off. And I'm like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one of my huge fears.
Yeah.
When I was younger.
So AIDS, you thought just something was going to get that to you?
Yeah, I was.
Well, there wasn't a lot of education at that point, right? About what that was sort of.
How it was spread.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of irrational fear of AIDS. And I was like, I just became very, very fearful of it. And also this was a point in time when I was like maybe 10 or 11 when I learned about AIDS. Because like I had heard of it. Like, oh yeah, this so-and-so died of AIDS.
Yeah.
And I didn't, when you're young, you don't know what the hell it is. But like as you get older, you learn about it. And it's just like, oh, AIDS is pretty bad. And I had thought that like, I don't know. I like at one point I thought that I had AIDS. And I told my parents, I'm like, I think I have AIDS. And they're like, no, son, you don't have AIDS.
Why did you think you had AIDS?
Because like I used to wear, again, this is an irrational fear and this is going to sound really, really stupid.
Okay. We'll get your close up ready here.
I'm so ready for this.
Okay. So like one of the things that one of the symptoms of AIDS is like the Kaposi sarcoma, which are those little lesions that you see on AIDS patients. I was wearing a wristwatch at one point in time and I would get like a rash under here because I would sweat during the day. But I also had those little hives and whatnot, like on my legs. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, that's AIDS.
It's AIDS.
Cause like one thing.
Not even HIV.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like I went past HIV.
How old were you?
I was about 10 or 11.
Oh my God.
But like, here's the thing though, is that my mom had this giant book of like diseases and diagnosis. And
you read it.
I read that thing religiously.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I was pretty up to speed on pretty much all the that was like the Wikipedia of diseases.
That's like the WebMD.
Yes.
Yeah. And like
It's cancer.
Yeah, like I was looking through that and I was just in like in the back they had all these pictures of like
were they pictures or were they drawings? What were they?
part of them were drawings,
Yeah.
part of them were actual pictures of like what the symptoms looked like. So like someone with oral cancer, ooh, that looks bad.
I'd imagine,
like the Kaposi sarcomas, like
Looked like what you had.
pretty much.
And so you were like, I have AIDS.
Yeah, I was just like, shit. And
Yeah.
so like I told my parents, I'm like, I think I have AIDS, and they're like, no, son.
Can you imagine?
But they're
Your 10-year-old
I get-
coming up to
yeah.
you. I think I have AIDS.
they're
It'd be like, oh boy.
but like the worst it got was when I was 16, and this was just my irrational fear.
So
of
this is
disease.
after this whole situation.
Yeah, this was after the whole situation. So like AIDS at this point was past. So I was no longer concerned about AIDS. But what I was concerned about was that like in high school, I was on medication and my medication was giving me a lot of headaches. Like I was getting headaches 3 or 4 times a week. And I was telling my parents, I'm like, I'm having a lot of headaches. And so I told them I told him where it was. It was like right here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it really hurts sometimes. Like there's times when I can't even open my eyes. And they went and got me an MRI. So I did an MRI purely based on that. And they let me look at it. And it's crazy to look at like, that's your brain. Like,
Yeah.
That's all of your head.
Well, that's really all that you are is a brain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's just with a meat puppet.
Yes. Meat puppet.
Pretty much. But
Because
like,
like all your experience
Puppet.
and everything that you are.
yeah,
That's
are
why I refuse
seeing.
to eat the brain of something.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
That really bothers me on that level.
Because that is essentially all that you are. All this perception and all that is happening within your own brain. That's really what you are, and you're just this little meat powered thing that it moves around through
yeah,
the world.
pretty much.
Yeah.
To perceive things.
Pretty much. And then they said you passed it with flying colors. And I'm like, all
You got
right.
a good brain, Andrew.
I got
brain.
I got a good brain.
Well, we looked at the results, and it looks like you got a pretty good brain there.
Good for you.
But yeah,
For you.
that's
We're going to bring in all the nurses, and we're all going to give you a round of applause. It's the best brain we've seen.
but going
They're
in,
like,
Yes. Yes.
you.
Yeah.
that brain of yours is good. His brain.
I was
Now I
His
gotta
brain, on the other
gotta
hand.
go break the news to the guy next door. He's got a real bad brain.
like, you see this? This is a good brain. This is what a brain's supposed to look like. Your brain.
Yeah. We're going to bring in all the nurses to boo your brain.
But like it was right around that time when I figured out that I had like really, really bad anxiety.
Oh God, yeah.
That's when I found out that I had real bad anxiety. And I had it for years, and I just didn't know that I had it.
Well, when you don't know how to define it, when you don't have the word for it,
Yeah.
and you don't like realize that's what it is, it's horrifying. It makes it that much scarier because you're like, I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm dying, but I can't tell you
Yeah.
why.
'Cause,
Like,
like-
I don't know what is killing me.
Because like I would wake up. There was like a period in one semester when I didn't go to school for like 8 days because I would wake up extremely dizzy. Like I would just wake up just like feeling really, really dizzy. Like so dizzy that I couldn't stand up. I'm like, Mom, I can't go to school.
Wow. Did you ever find out what that was?
Anxiety.
It was.
Yeah. Because so after they acknowledged that, I actually started feeling a little bit better. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you do. It's insane how.
it's like an hourglass. It just like flips right upside down.
Well, it helps explain, I guess, what
It does,
like,
yeah.
what you've been feeling this whole time.
Yeah, because otherwise, like you feel truly like something is absolutely wrong with you. And if they can tell you, no, it's anxiety, like until then, your brain is just building it up into something and like even causing physical symptoms of other things. Because, I mean, your brain is that powerful.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
creates those
Yeah.
things in your body.
Yeah, I mean it really like it just it lies to you a lot about
It
stuff
does.
like that.
And like try like talking your brain out of something. It's like it talking to itself, trying to rationalize with itself. And it's insane. It's like such a crazy phenomenon because your brain also knows everything about you and what you will succumb to. And so if it wants you to go into the fear response, it might even like create a different pathway to get there. And then you're like, I don't know what this is. And they're like, no, still anxiety, just a different, it feels different now.
And also, this happened right around high school,
Yeah.
and high school sucks.
I liked high school.
like my
High school?
like
I did.
my first 2 years of high school. My first 2 years of high school were not good, just because it was I came from a rural school, so not a rural school, but a smaller school. So to go from my graduating class of 8th grade was like 16 people. To go from 16 people to 700 is like a shock.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Bartlesville High School.
Okay.
Bartlesville had two schools. There was mid high, which was 9th and 10th, and high school, which is 11th.
Where
and
did you
12th.
go to like 8th grade? Was it some sort of small?
From kindergarten to 8th grade, I went to Osage Hills Public School, and it was right down. Yeah, it was right down the road from where my mom worked, and I went there my entire elementary school, primary school, whatever you call it, my entire life there. I am like my best friend and I. We were on the phone the other night. We met in 5th grade. And we're still friends today. I know more people from grade school than I do from high school. Like it's that different. And
Just that connection is what you're saying. Like, you mean there were more people that went to high school, but just,
But like you're still connected with
Yeah.
more
Those
people.
people.
Yeah.
Like,
So your high school experience was good though, kind of right?
Yeah. I enjoyed high school.
I enjoyed high school.
I had a great time.
the last 2 years of my high school got very much better. And like, I will say,
Where'd you go to high school, Kenna?
Claremore.
Oh, okay. So it was a moderately sized, right?
Go Zeebs. Yeah, my graduating class I think was close to 200. I want to say so decent size.
yeah,
I went to Broken Arrow, so it was quite
Massive.
it was massive.
Yeah. 1,000.
I had friends from
graduating
Broken
class.
Arrow.
Yeah. But you just gotta find your niche. I mean, the good thing about it is it had everything you could. A lot of people I think leave high school not knowing what they like or what they do, but they had 87 million classes that you could kind of figure out what your niche is.
Yeah, the people who go through high school never like really engaging in like extracurriculars or clubs or anything like. I can see how that would be miserable. Like, if you're just going to school and going home every day.
Yes.
That's I would hate that.
And that stuff is there. It's there if you just look. And if it's not there, then create it.
Yeah.
Like what got me through was like, as dumb as it sounds, journalism.
It doesn't sound dumb.
Like I had
Two communications.
We're all communications majors here.
Well, I'm just
We would
saying.
never
I'm just
think that was dumb.
no. It's not. I mean,
We have several people that we know that are journalists.
I mean,
Saved my life.
yeah, how
like-
dare you disparage journalism like that?
Wow. Wow.
but like, wow. But no, journalism. I picked up journalism, and then I got on the yearbook staff for the last 2 years, and that was kind of like my gateway. Like,
To his gateway.
like
Gateway drug.
that was my gateway drug. No, it like right then and there is when I and I'm sorry I took this over, but like,
Kenna's podcast, Andrew.
I'm so sorry.
Andrew.
I'm making this all.
What was
I'm
your
sorry.
gateway, Kenna? No, but go ahead. They
Go
saved your
ahead.
life or whatever.
No,
okay.
no. It
Distracted him from the AIDS
Yes.
pandemic.
The only thing that saved Andrew from his AIDS fears was journalism. And that was the pin in that story.
I'm sorry. I totally took this over.
No, that's good.
Okay, so journalism though, and that's when you decided you liked photography, or no? Is that
Yeah.
later?
In fact, I will give the credit right now to a very, very special lady. Her name is Darla Tresner. And
Shout out to Darla.
she
Darla Tresner.
Mhm, that's
Look
a full
at you.
name.
It is.
That's a cool name.
Tresner.
she had
Isn't that the no? That's
what?
the Resner is the the
Trent Reznor?
Trent Reznor.
It's not Darla Trent Reznor. But no, I give a lot of credit to her because number one, she helped me how to take really, really good photographs. And number two, just how to get the story. And number three, just how to be a nice person.
She
Well,
taught
that's
you how to be
great.
a nice person.
It's a well-rounded education.
Yeah.
That is an
And
education.
I think of my entire high school time, like that is the person that is the one teacher that I love the most.
Oh, she's still teaching,
Yeah.
or
She actually is.
Okay.
She actually is
At Beeville?
at Bartlesville.
Wow.
So
Same job? Same position? Wow.
she's been teaching yearbook and newspaper staff like forever.
Well, that is cool.
That is cool.
What saved your life, Kenna, at school?
I don't know about saving my life, but the things I got
Just got it.
engaged with, speech and debate. Huge.
Oh yes, you're a speech and debate person.
Yeah, I started
Cool.
as just a debater, but then I started getting into competitive acting as well, which I super enjoyed. And then that kind of like led to my time in high school theater.
So you did
And-
theater as well.
Yeah, I
Were you a
did.
drama kid?
No, I was not a drama kid in the sense of like like when we think of
Theater
a drama kid.
Yeah.
Like you all do.
I was a theater kid. I don't care to say that.
I was not
my
like
group.
Cade.
That was my group.
High school.
Yes.
like you all are doing like the Crucible. The
I love the Crucible's great. Yeah.
But the Crucible
never
is
did
like
that.
the Crucible is a staple of like high school theater.
We never did.
We
it.
never did the Crucible.
Okay.
We did trying to think throughout all the things like
I'll
through
tell you, my favorite role.
Yeah.
My first role, I think.
You were Anne
actually.
Frank.
I was Anne Frank in the Diary of Anne Frank.
I remember that story. Sorry to step on your your reveal
Yeah,
there.
that
Anne Frank. Do you remember any of your lines from that?
was. Oh God. I don't think I do. But it's funny because I read The Diary of Anne Frank and I saw a bunch of my lines. And as soon as I read it, I was like, oh, that's my line. Like,
Yes.
I've read this
You've read
before,
this.
like
I have
so many
performed
times.
this.
Yeah.
Did you have to do it with a dialect?
No.
Okay,
No.
you didn't attempt that.
No, but I did learn Hebrew
Okay.
Cool.
for the play, which nobody else did.
You learned
look at you.
you learned your lines or learned the totality of the Hebrew language.
I wish I learned the totality of the Hebrew language. I tried, but it was so hard because anytime you have a language that also comes with its own like characters, it's just so much harder because
Yeah.
you have to learn both. But anyway, so no, I went to the synagogue here in Tulsa,
That's
Yeah.
neat.
and I learned.
I had to go to that for one of my college courses.
Was it comparative religions with
Yes.
Dr. Ford?
It was that, yes.
I also took that class, but I did not wait. And I did go to the synagogue. I sure did.
Yes.
I later went to a Buddhist temple though, just for fun.
Just for fun.
And
just
it
for
was great
funsies.
too. Just for funsies. Just
That's cool.
some Buddhist stuff. Yeah, it was actually really interesting. It sticks with you, you know.
Yeah, it does.
It was an experience. It wasn't just a class. My religion classes were always the most interesting to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so learned Hebrew there for the play, just the prayers that were in the script, because the director originally was like, "Oh, we'll just cut those," and I was like, "No, like
No.
I will learn
Slow
that."
your rope, director.
Yeah, hey, I'm the director now.
Look at
We're
me.
all learning Hebrew.
Look at me.
Nobody-
yeah,
I
you
did.
volunteer everybody else to learn Hebrew too.
They're like,
No, we're doing it. I'm the star. I'm Anne Frank, and we're all going to learn it.
it. We did have an issue though because like half the cast called me Anna, half the cast called me Anne,
Oh.
and so it was
Would you set them down and say, you referred to me as this
Anna.
one thing? Oh, you said that?
Anna was how I said because that was her name,
Okay.
but
Did you go out in the audience and correct people
didn't-
whenever they
I didn't
when
make
they said
it.
it? Oh.
I didn't make a scene.
didn't
I
make
was
a
just
scene?
very happy to be
should
where
have.
I was.
Oh, so you weren't a diva?
No, not at all.
You
I had
should
such
have.
a great time. I dyed my hair
Oh, okay.
dark brown for that role.
Yeah.
It was a very
got into
impactful
it.
play, though. I had a great time. I had people come up to me after the show and like hug me. This one like really old guy walked up to me and he just said thank you, and then like left. And I was like,
Was it a very?
Wait a minute.
What was the thank you? What was it? Was it a? What was the tone of that thank you?
it seemed like, I don't know, it was very meaningful to him.
Oh, okay.
Like the play was meaningful to him,
Yeah.
and he was just thanking me for, you know, portraying it
That- yeah. For
that way, I guess.
yeah.
And me
Well,
and my dad, the guy who played my dad, Pim, in it, had great on stage chemistry. Like
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody else kind of sucked, but I'm just kidding. It was like the perfect cast. It was the only time I've ever had that happen where everybody fit their role so well, and it was just such a cool experience. And I was very honored to play that role.
Yeah. That's such a cool.
That's
role.
cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
I
cool
enjoyed
story.
It. I really did.
Yeah.
And this is all making me miss acting so much.
Well, Andrew deals with theater all the time.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's
I dabble.
yeah.
We should all be in a play together.
I
that.
agree.
We should write a play and do the play. I've always wanted to do a full length Omaha. I've said that before. It's more of a comedy, but it's got some things. But that's where I got my start in directing, was directing theater because I would stage manage, but then I'd also direct a lot of different things. They'd have me
Did
stage
you do any
things.
theater in college?
I was somewhat involved here and there. I acted in one of those original recipes in one of the little scenes, and then I directed Omaha. I directed
Okay.
my 10-minute play there. But I believe that was the only two things that I did was two original recipes things. I didn't really do much. But yeah, in high school I stage directed, and I acted in Frankenstein. I was his father, Frankenstein's father. And then I did.
You're like, it's always Frankenstein's monster.
Yes.
What about Frankenstein's father?
Frankenstein is the creature.
Yes.
That's Frankenstein.
And
Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
and yeah, but I in 8th grade and in middle school, I wrote 2 plays, and that was where I first started doing that. Was I wrote a Christmas play, and then I wrote one that was like a game show, like a 70s game show.
Cool.
murder
fun.
mystery thing. And I was the star of that because I learned that my lesson from the first one that I was not the star of my Christmas thing and I didn't think they did it right. So I wrote me into them.
That was like my whole film school.
What was it named?
I was like, I'm writing it, I'm in it, I'm also directing it. Mm-hmm. I would shoot it if I could. And edit.
Yeah. I've learned to give up some of that stuff and everything. And
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. And it's hard whenever you're younger, too, because people around you don't necessarily like share your vision. Whereas when you get older and you can pick people
yes.
to work with, you can pick
Exactly.
people who understand and can create action.
Well, there's people that's just doing it for a class or doing it for a hobby or whatever. And then slowly it weeds out those people in this sort of thing. And it's sad because you do see, I've had so many people that I knew of that I was in drama with that I'm like, they had real talent. And then I don't know if someone didn't believe in them or that was just not their thing or whatever, but then they just eventually stop and they think someone tells them it's childish to have those dreams or whatever.
Right.
But it's like, that's one of the most disheartening things was seeing people with true talent that was just threw it away and that they just went away from it or whatever. And it's like, I can try to sell these people as much as I possibly can. Cause I'm like sitting there, let's do this together. Let's run and let's do this whole thing. And then they just don't have that. And it's sad. It's repeatedly
really
sad.
That is sad.
hard. That's not a super sustainable thing unless you have kind of means starting out. And then everyone after that is just like pure luck of the draw. Like if you don't have enough money to start your career,
Yes.
you probably won't.
Well, especially now, like if you don't have the right connections, it's incredibly hard. Like
But you got to enjoy loving doing it. I guess, there's people that if I can't, I guess, get them to love doing this thing, that's
right.
And that's, I think, where it comes off. But it's like, because I truly love making films and doing that. And I sometimes just can't find the time to, and it's the saddest, regretful thing ever. But I don't understand why people don't fight for that because they seem to enjoy it. I'm an outsider looking into it, but they're talented. And I don't know if someone's not telling them that they're talented because I'm telling them that they're talented. And I just don't know if they just don't believe it or what's going on there. That's
just speaking from experience, because that was my whole goal is when I got out of high school and was launching my career and stuff, I started taking film classes because I wanted to go on to just act and be a part of these large scale productions and things. And I even enjoyed doing the small stuff around Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But it is super exhausting. It's very unstable. So if you are looking for any kind of reliable income jobs, it's just not, you can't. And so then
I agree that you can't probably make a living off of it now.
Right. But then you become invested in a job that keeps all the lights on. And then that has to be your priority here.
That's true.
You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to blow off work today and go shoot.
And there's some people that want a family, and I don't get those people, but they want a family and they want to they want to do all that on top of. And so if their number one thing is getting money to live and everything, and their number two thing is family or whatever flopped, or that they don't have time for a third thing where they're doing the thing that they might actually love or are talented in.
Right. Well, it's exhausting. I mean, you would literally have to just really push yourself to do those kinds of things.
Yeah. And there's people that I'm like, oh God, I could have, we could have went and did a whole great things together, but they just didn't. You're right. I think it is. It's just the timing of it all. And it's just the people going the path of least resistance at times as well.
Or like me, you're resisting the whole, forever and nothing ever. It's just you would have to have that next step. And then it's you can't get in there. So it's all right, I'm going to go home.
Well,
I'm going to leave California and stop living in my car.
Yeah.
And
did you ever want to do the whole California deal?
I did. I went out there. And
you did? You went out? Oh, I didn't know.
Class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did that. It was great, but it was the same. Super hard to find housing. If you did find housing,
So what did you do? Did you live somewhere, or how did you figure that out?
Yeah. So my cousin was out there.
Okay.
And he had money. He had bank. So he had a house. And he wasn't in LA, but he was in a suburb where I could drive in and do stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like finding a roommate. I was quickly running out of money, just like,
Yeah.
trying to find that. And
So what were you doing? Were you trying to do acting? Is that what the thing was there? Or was
that was the long-term goal, was to kind of get set up out there and then act. And
So were you doing auditions and stuff, or you're just doing workshops? Is that what the idea was?
yeah, I just started doing like improv stuff, which was fun. Loved it. And had I stayed longer, I would, but it was just so hard to get in. And it's like they say, like everyone in LA is an actor.
Yeah.
Your doctor's an actor.
Everyone is trying to do that. Yeah, that's true.
It's
every
hard.
waiter in the town. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
every single one.
It's like-
and when you realize the odds, you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
it's so weird about that because the thing is that like you have actually better chance of being an actor here in Oklahoma than you do
Exactly.
there.
Exactly.
And now that like our
Shifted.
Yeah.
now that our film, I don't know, kind of film world is exploding, I say, but like you have better chance of getting representation and you have better chance of like actually being in stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in nice roles, not
Yeah.
just
Yes.
Not just a
background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was one way I was considering when I was there. I was like, I could just be a background person, like an extra, because they have agencies that just do that. They just call you and you go and sit in the background, and that's your day.
Yeah.
But like it's
I need
also
to drink coffee 20 times.
but it's also like unionized people. Like getting in unions is tough, especially for acting unions.
Like SAG and
like
stuff.
SAG. And,
Yeah.
yeah, like you have to do so much just to qualify for it.
Yeah. I had some friends that went that route. They're SAG
Yeah.
official now, but I don't know what's happened to them.
Yeah. It's
They're in
difficult.
stuff
And
every once in a while.
Well, even
Like,
still,
hey.
I mean, even still, like it's still tough.
But
It is,
I'll
yeah.
tell you, there's nothing I say. I love making films, obviously, and I love doing these things, and I love watching films. But there's nothing that makes me hate filmmaking and question my whole love for it than a film set. I hate that, and I hate the process of all that. I nothing's more creatively stifling. I guess I don't know. Maybe there's some good ones out there, but
Building the set itself.
No, the being on set and
yeah.
being with these people and doing all that, the machinery of it is just like so much of filmmaking I love is the spontaneity and the catching something there and being on like a small group. That's like, I love indie filmmaking, and that like if seeing this sort of machinery and seeing these people that are indie that are like want to replicate that in some sort of way, it's like you're killing the best part of what you're making here.
Yeah.
And that is the indiness of it. It is the sort of run and gun. It is the sort of, but they want to be seen as professional or something. And it's like, but you have something that you can capture there. That's a heart. That's something that's interesting and unique that they can't do because of the sort of machinery of Hollywood and the machinery of these sort of big budget things, is that they can't stop and get these moments in time and get these moments of magic anymore, because they have a thing that the schedule that they have to sit to, and they have to get this, and they got to get shot and reverse shot, and they got to set up the lighting and get all that. It's like you lose a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all fabricated.
It's all fabricated.
I agree with that, because the thing is that like as part of that magic goes, it's cool whenever you're there. I mean, whenever you like are arriving there, but the more you do it, it's just like, meh. Yeah. I can understand that. I know what you're coming from.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's one of the downsides of it, unfortunately. I think it's, yeah.
And I mean, it certainly is a money-making thing for these studios. So of course they're going to do that and make it a machinery. I mean, that's
well, and it goes back to our previous point of like, they don't have another choice. It's like my dream has to pay off somehow, or I'm going to have to stop doing it to pay the bills.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like how sustainable is something that you just can't really make money from.
yeah.
And doing things for the love of it is really not a thing anymore, I don't think.
Yes. Well, I think it becomes less and less so when you get more responsibilities, and that's in
Which is a
adulthood.
shame.
Yeah.
Like, I think human beings need that. We need time to just do what we love doing.
Yeah.
Also play. I will take that. I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
It is so important for adults to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we don't get very many opportunities to.
No, we don't.
Yeah. I was going to say something else about like, it's gone.
Well, good.
But
That's been childhood fears, guys.
Childhood fears.
Click the thing, Andrew. Childhood fears. There we go. That was a long segment, but
It was. You can cut it down. We didn't even talk about it.
you didn't have to fade it out, Andrew.
oh,
It's
he's
fine.
getting technical.
Yeah, he's trying to
over
fade it. It fades out on itself.
He's like-
it's one of our longer.
here. He like pulls out all this equipment. He's like,
Yeah.
Caca.
That was good.
caca?
No. Yes.
Caca.
So you talked a little bit about so you were a very anxious child
Yeah.
in general,
Yes.
and that you learn to be a little bit less, or what are you? How did you figure that out? That balance of that.
So I tried for years and years and years to just get it under control myself, like exercise, good diet, watching what I would intake during the day, like media wise, like trying to protect anything that would maybe trigger me into anxiety or panic. And then eventually it became very obvious that that was not going to work. Like I could not do it myself, despite trying for years to like calm it down. Seeing so many therapists, it's crazy. And I mean, those things help, but they didn't take it away. And so eventually I decided to start taking medicine for it. And that's what I do now. And thankfully I have a doctor that knows that I'm not a huge fan of medicine. And like, I don't necessarily want to be dependent on a medicine.
Yeah.
And so she listens to my concerns about that and,
Yeah.
has helped me.
That's cool.
2 doctors have. Yeah.
Good deal.
So it's been really nice to not just wake up and be completely fearful of every single thing every day. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I finally can feel like maybe like a normal person feels.
Yeah. And was that the only sort of medical thing that was when you were a kid? Was it mostly that major of is that the only thing that you really had?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so. I had a heart murmur.
Oh, really? When you
yeah.
were like born, or where was
I
that?
think I still have it actually.
Oh, wow.
They told me. My doctor just said, she was like, "You still have it." I was like, "Oh, okay." But she was like, "If you can exercise and stuff and it doesn't do anything, then you're good." And I was like, "Okay, sweet. We're good."
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the only 2 things growing up that it was ever like, yeah, you need to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
I
I don't know if I know this, but as a kid, I suffered from migraines.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rough for a
It
kid.
was
Yeah,
pretty
no
rough.
kidding.
I mean, that's rough for anybody.
Yeah, which is why I know that when people I don't know, people use that very flippantly or whatever. Migraines is like meaning a headache. It's like, no, it's
different.
It's a different thing, and it's
Knocks you out.
debilitating. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had like one in my life, and I just like couldn't even see straight.
Yeah. At its peak, it was weekly.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no, and in like my mom, it's a genetic thing. My mom, and then like her my grandfather had it, so it's kind of a thing that, and they say that mostly, like, there's of course examples of this not being the case, but like women will grow into them and they'll have them in their later life, or but they won't have them in their childhood, but the good thing is boys will grow out of them typically. And I was luckily
God.
that was luckily the case with me, is that stopped. And I very rarely, I mean, it's very, very rarely. I mean, like the last one I had is probably like 2-3 years ago. So it's not big.
Okay.
It's not, and it's barely even, it's very, 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 very rare.
God, boys get everything. You guys suck.
Yeah. Which I was so grateful that was the case that ended up being true advice that was but our actual thing that ended up happening. But
like women, it's just gonna get worse.
It's just gonna get worse
as it goes. You're gonna grow into everything bad.
Yeah.
Boys, you'll grow out of it.
Grow out of it. Because it was, I mean, it was bad. Like, you know, third and fourth grade, like, and I'd had to like take really like high level medication for it because when I had to take it, like, it's gonna happen. It's about to happen. And I had to take it now. And then, because if I wait, it will be irreparable. But like in bad times, and when I was getting out of it, you know, like Excedrin, I would take that. Excedrin migraine. It wouldn't take 2, 3. Sometimes I would do that if that was just beforehand. And so that's where I had my, I guess, a caffeine addiction from a young age was from. Just popping Excedrin migraines like crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
That's something I don't talk about. No, it's something that, you know, you deal with, and but like never missed a full day of school ever in my life. I would.
Good for you.
I missed so many days of school.
It was a thing that was my parents wanted me, whatever, and it used to be kind of I'd get some sort of award for it. But so essentially it would be go to the school. They'd have my medication that I'd take, and I'd sit there and like on that little cot there, just in intense pain.
Oh, gosh.
Until it would go away.
Kick in.
Yeah, until it would kick in. Yeah. And so I'm like, and there were times I'm like, I went to, but there were some days I'd had to leave early because it'd go to my room and be in like complete darkness because any sort of light would be there.
Hurt. Oh my gosh. That's awful.
Yeah. And I forget that. People will talk about they have some sort of thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I dealt with that. No one else dealt with, I guess. But I mean, I would take it over childhood cancer or something. You know?
God, yeah. Any day.
Or some sort of thing that, you know, some people have some really, you know, personal, awful things that you're just like, oh yeah.
Truly. I mean, for some people, it is unreal.
Like what they had to deal with. Yeah.
Just right out the gate.
Yeah.
And you're like, good Lord, you have to be just the most unlucky person.
Yes.
Or you have to be
keeps coming.
Yeah, no kidding. Or you have to be the toughest person.
Yeah, they had to go through it, and it's just like, I mean, childhood's kind of got a lot of things. So I'm happy that it was not as awful as, I mean, you see just different people have different things that they got to deal with.
Yeah.
It's just, it's really sad. I mean, you have kids in your class that's like, oh yeah, there's one that's got diabetes, you know, like whatever, type 1 or whatever, and they had to deal with that all the time. Or there's a kid that had alopecia.
Oh, wow.
They had to deal with.
Really?
Yeah, in my class. And that was a thing. Yeah.
Whoa.
Just different things that you sort of, I mean, and because the school classes are so big, you know, pretty much people with different things and stuff.
Yeah.
Great. If you get
I feel like my episode is going to be depressing. Like unpacking childhood trauma with Kenna.
Here's the thing. What I like about our friendship is that we can go deep on these sort of things.
Sure.
And that that's one of I'll tell you, one of the things that I miss is where we're hanging out after trivia outside of Andolini's in Owasso, which none of us live in Owasso, but we were hanging out there afterwards because it's a middle point, I guess, between a few different people.
Yeah.
Things. But in just sort of talking about life, talking about what our hopes are, what's not going well, what just whatever.
The topic was general.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it was
a good time.
was fun, but it was also like we don't know what's happening, what's going on in our lives. We're just trying to guess, I guess.
Well, this was also pre-pandemic.
This is pre-pandemic,
Before the world ended.
Before the world ended.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to think about. Like that was
that's
pre-pandemic.
3 years ago. Is that what
That was 3 years ago.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That the 3 years have gone by since then.
Yeah, it's like time folded in on itself.
Yeah.
And it's like those were good 3 years just to throw away too. That's the sad part.
I know. That makes me so sad.
Damn it.
But in the meantime, you guys figured out anything with life since that point?
I'm just going to say that our Patreon people can get a much more lighthearted experience than this.
Yes.
So
I like the existential stuff. Some people don't like talking about dark things; they avoid it, and I'm like, "Oh, give it to me." I like talking about.
I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
No.
But I don't want to be the depressing friend.
Well, this is what I'll say is that like
We can go light in a second. We'll take it to the depths, and then we'll pop back up. Okay.
Everyone will really feel it.
this is what we call a roller coaster.
Yes.
And right now we are on the up end.
Up in.
Or the down, or whatever, the valley, or
Yeah, whatever that is.
whatever, whichever one. Or we're ascending, and we're about to. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the most.
But no, to be honest with you, this is kind of like therapy to me.
This podcast
Great,
or our
that's-
conversations.
Just our conversations.
Oh, okay.
That's what I want it to be. When we hang out with me, I want it to be like therapy.
It's nothing to do with well. I mean, it's somewhat to do with you, but it's like nothing
You're like,
against
you. Know
you. It's
what
not
we
a
want to
negative.
call for a good time. Not Kenna, she's therapy. But
Yeah,
Excuse me.
you're excused. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, just keep the pillows width away.
yeah. I mean, truthfully though,
That was my fault.
You got it all. You're all settled now,
Andrew's
Andrew.
like causing a ruckus. Over here.
Yes, I am.
It's like knocking the table around. He's
Yeah.
like, okay.
I am chaos.
It was a question.
The question was, have you figured out life yet since in those 3 years?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, any positive things with that? Because I feel like, I mean, in some respects, I feel like I'm in a better place, but in some
I
respects,
have not.
Oh, okay.
I've been in a worse place. Absolutely.
Yeah, you went further down the lane that you were like not wanting to go down or whatever.
Yeah, like I think the
I can see
pandemic
that.
time for some people was like, oh, a great time to like explore new things and like explore myself and blah blah blah. And for me, coming off of the years prior to it happening, and then of course getting that job, it was trash. I was like, this is awful. The world is ending. What do I have to hope for anymore?
Yeah, and now on the other side of that, is it still kind of like
Now on the other side, it's like I'm looking back and I'm like, fuck. Like where did we go? Are you gonna have to bleep that out?
no? You can. This will now be an explicit episode.
This is an R-rated
It
episode.
has a little E. So now all bets are off.
I did it, you guys. I made it that way for us. But yeah, no, it's like, wow, that seemed like a lot of wasted time. And now I'm coming out and it's like, what's going on now? You know?
Yeah, no, I don't, and I don't know. Like, I think we're in this transition period. At least I see that even kind of in my life of like trying to figure out, okay, this is work. This is this sort of where I get to have this podcast. And I get to even then figure out what I want to do with filmmaking and all, and just trying to figure out that and the time for that and what I want from all this sort of thing. And I agree. Sometimes I feel like the pandemic was a kind of got me off track in some sort of ways.
Well, I certainly lost interest in everything. I was no longer interested in things and haven't been in a long time.
Yeah.
And so coming out, that's what I mean is like, we're kind of coming out of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've at least
I think you just kind of have to
move past it. Even though it's still
la 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 la.
We're like, well,
It goes back to what you were saying earlier about like you have to trick your brain, like and just power through things. Because one of the things I've learned about a lot of this stuff is just like it doesn't matter what you do, you just got to do it.
Yeah, but for so long it's felt like that, like just putting one foot in front of the other to get through. And now we're kind of coming out on this other side, and it feels like, oh, I might actually have interest in something again.
Yes.
To like go, to like see a hopeful future rather than like who knows when this is going to end.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting. Like that part is like reawakening a little bit, but then I'm also like hesitant because like now that we know this could happen, like.
Well, you had to almost create the things that you want to see, and it takes effort to do that, but it's no longer like, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. Do you feel like the world seems smaller in some sort of way, or that there's less happening than what it was pre-pandemic even. Like, it doesn't seem like there is still the stuff there.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we all went inward and then everybody got really angry.
Yes.
And rightfully so on some accounts. But then now everybody's angry at each other, and that's where we're living. We're living in a place where people are living to get like riled up about something and just be mad about something.
But I mean, like, even like there's not stuff. Like, I mean, there's not as much going on, right?
Yeah.
There's
Because
just
we're all inside.
We're all inside.
On Facebook, leaving nasty comments for people like you and me who have to go through them and be like,
Gross.
you bigot.
Yeah.
But then like delete it and be like, we hear you.
Yeah.
Thank
you for your feedback.
Feedback. Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
If you'd like to visit us, please visit us at soandso.com.
I get people who like try to pick fights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm just like, we will no longer be responding to you because
Yeah.
Can you block them?
you can, but
It's a tricky thing.
there's decorum
Yes.
whenever you're for like a company.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's some things that I don't mind blocking people for, and I do have a little bit more freedom with that. But and then obviously you block bots and stuff, but but yeah, but yeah, it is a tricky thing, and there are different webs of things of like, well, this is fine, but this isn't, and this is,
Right.
It just kind of depends on the sort of scenario.
exactly.
Yeah. If you had a time machine, I got a question. This is a question.
Oh, okay.
What moment in your life would you go back to? In your life?
I don't know. Maybe like college, like fresh into college,
Yeah.
probably.
Like that?
Yeah.
You have a short answer, Andrew? Where would you go back to?
2004.
Cool. Let's talk about college.
No explanation necessary.
So we all met in college. Well, we were in college, and Andrew was around.
Yeah. Andrew's there.
There.
I was employed.
Yeah.
I am employed.
He's like, I am no longer.
Fun fact: this just happened this week. I got fired.
I'm announcing it now on this podcast.
On this podcast seems like the appropriate time to announce that.
I just found another microphone.
Yeah,
How
sorry.
many friends do you have?
Yeah, just in case we need to pop in somebody else on here.
Okay.
Bring out our guest. He's been waiting in the closet there.
He's like, God, finally.
For 12 hours.
We was like, I was waiting through all the most depressing stories ever.
Did you at least give the person food?
He's just weeping there. It has been horrible. It has been. I've had so many childhood trauma that I've been dealing with in this. So we met. So we were same major, right? I mean, you're radio TV as well.
Yep.
I like saying I'm broadcasting a new media because that's what it's called now, right?
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
I just like saying that. No one can verify it, right? Anyways.
You guys came in at like the last year we had
The
that.
semester after they changed it.
And it's a lot better name, especially since we work in social media, that we can say that we have a degree in
New media.
New media.
Yeah.
Broadcasting and new media. I like it. I use it. No, unless they listen this far into the podcast, do they know that I'm a liar?
They're like, what?
Yeah. Wait, hold
That's
on.
why we hired you.
Yeah.
Emphasis in radio and television is trash. Yeah. It's not the same.
Not the same. So we met. What was so weird though is I feel like it was well into our degree, right? That we met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I wasn't there the whole time. Mm-hmm. I had been other places.
Yeah.
And then I came.
So were you only there at RSU for two years?
No, I was there for 3.5.
3.5. Okay. So you were
Just
there
to
for most of it.
Wipe it out. Finish it out.
So, because I didn't meet you, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, where do you think we met?
Where do we think?
Yeah. Where did we meet?
So I knew of your existence from instances. I think I don't know. My timelines get mixed up.
Here's where I think that we met. It was at an academic conference.
The Ostica?
Ostica, yes.
Okay. I feel like I knew you existed
yes.
before then.
Yeah.
And we had tiny interactions.
Yes.
Just because of the groups.
Yes.
But
Exactly. Because that's where I'm like, did I know you before through other people?
yeah,
And through
but
things?
Ostica stands out in my mind as when we actually like talked.
Yes.
And like.
And then it was that, and then it was the next conference when we actually went off and went to a thing. And so it was mostly these conferences that and then like we didn't have classes until senior year together. I think we had just capstone, right? Do we have any other class together?
We had capstone together?
Yeah, because we graduated at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, we did have capstone together.
Yeah.
Y'all received awards for your capstone.
We were the top two with only
we
capstone
were.
winners.
And I remember I was talking to you on stage that day when we were getting them. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Which is weird that like being that like we're still good friends and that it was so late in the thing.
You know what's weird though is the friends that I have from RSU are the ones I made late in the game. Yeah. Well, because truthfully, I didn't make a lot of friends up until I was finally kind of free to make friends. And then I did, and like me and Ewan are super close. Or I'm sorry, Ewan. I always pronounce his name incorrectly.
Yes.
And Dakota.
Yes.
You. Andrew was. I don't remember when I met Andrew.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. I was trying to think about that. I think we met in video production.
That's
because like
feel.
I was like kind of like the.
You like helped.
I was like the help.
You were the help, Andrew.
I was the help. I was the help
for Master Williams.
From Master Williams. But no, like I was kind of the help there, and that's initially where I met you.
Yeah, I feel like that's correct. But again,
we didn't really get to know each other until like your capstone whenever you were starting to work on your capstone.
It was like everybody that last semester. I was like, okay, like. We're going to do this freaking last semester. Yeah. Which was already hell for me.
And so then we knew each other very well because we were editing our capstones also at the same time.
We were. Yeah.
We were the only ones in the editing thing for a lot of
yeah.
Which is why I think ours was that we put so much effort into it.
We did. The guy that made his the night before. Yeah. Like, he was quite.
Oh yeah. Him.
But
they like ripped him up. I felt so bad. I was like, like secondhand embarrassment. Like, I gotta leave.
Because we were in there several nights in the editing.
I was up there like every freaking night, and it was just because the task I had undertaken was monumental. I would take breaks to go like cry and throw up.
Yeah, yours was a very emotionally taxing.
Yeah, it was rough. Yeah. It was hard to.
You had a very solid. You had a very deep subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then mine wasn't as deep.
Yours was,
but it was as taxing.
But just
we had a different way.
It was ribbon. In case you guys haven't seen it, which I plug all the time. We mentioned earlier.
What is that?
Mine is Born of Fire.
Yeah. Is that available anywhere to watch in full?
It's on YouTube.
Okay, in full. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Everybody that I work with now was like, "Yeah, we watched your movie." I'm like, oh, you guys just like Googled me before I got here and watched my movie?
That's such a personal thing that's kind of weird for people to, would that be weird
my
for people
supervisor was like, yeah, I saw your documentary about your grandma. And I was like, oh, well, glad you've seen me cry already. Yeah. So we just moved past that stage in our.
Well, it's like a very, personal thing to just have with a stranger that would, or, someone
people, people tell me that all the time. From classes since us, I'll get random messages and be like, hey, Lee showed your capstone in class today. Amazing. And I'm like, thanks. Yeah, it was really painful.
Yeah. That was
I got some messages of like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, me too.
Me too, yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have no idea. You're a stranger.
Yeah.
How do you think I feel?
Yeah. That's a tough one. Yeah. And I always hear, I'll get some things too, but it's just like, that's funny. That was funny or something, or that was good.
And you're like,
something. Yeah.
Thank you.
It took a lot of stuff. That I'm glad it was just funny. Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of late nights.
For
For
that one punchline that you got.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the Radisson bit or whatever.
Yeah.
Great. We've somehow found a way to make this even a depressing.
Jeez Louise. Find something else.
Great. You're going to go to Little Nicky? I forgot we hit a Little Nicky. Jesus Christ, this is going to be a long episode. Okay. And now, Kenna, ready for our next segment?
Yes. What will it be?
It's titled Little Nicky.
Oh! Excellent.
I take full
First try.
responsibility.
Try. Nailed it.
I take full responsibility.
Andrew's like deleting those. Like, are you sure you want to clear all?
That's what it said, yeah.
He's like, yeah. Oh.
Several things went wrong that you'll never see.
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
Yes.
Andrew Bout knocked down the entire set.
Well, I call that a slow
Mass
Tuesday.
chaos.
I call that a slow Tuesday.
Slow Tuesday. Well,
Tuesday.
so-
If I ain't breaking anything, it's not a show.
yes. Do you know what the segment is?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, this is a pre-recorded segment with Alex and I.
Okay.
Well, what do you know about Alex?
I knew Alex a little bit. We had some classes together.
Mm-hmm.
He's funny. A lack of filter, I suppose. Like he doesn't. There's no like boundary. But then once you set a boundary, he's very accepting of that boundary
Yes.
and will back off and be like, "Oh, cool." You
Yeah.
know, like he's just a very like. He's a great person from what I know from the
That's
outside.
what you were
And I
ramping
think
up
he's
to say
hilarious
was he was a
too.
great person. Yeah.
I have,
Well, it was. And that one night he came in and we were all editing. We were editing
No.
our capstones and he came in and we just talked and I just
Yeah.
thought it was so funny. I just thought it was so funny.
Yes.
So
I have a question.
great guy.
Is he the one in the closet?
He's our guest.
We were asking all that, so bring him out now.
Yeah, he's like, just what do you think of him?
Yeah, what do you think of him? What do you think? Yeah.
Feel free to say anything. Anything, even bad stuff.
Even bad stuff. Yeah.
It's not here standing in the closet waiting to hear.
So this is a segment Alex and I recorded 2 years ago.
Okay.
For you.
For me.
For you.
Oh, okay.
Andrew, did you have a good time with your Lil Nicky segment?
I actually did. I thought it was great.
It's people have varying degrees of things. It's excruciating.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
So this is fun. You're going to listen to the segment. We can pause it at any time. Andrew knows exactly how to operate this board.
I do now.
He's a pro.
So he'll click play and pause if needed. So you'll just say pause and we can pause it. And I'll say pause a few different times.
Okay.
But this is the thing. Sometimes like the point of this is just to get through it as quick as possible.
Gotcha.
So if
Okay.
if you don't want to pause it, I will pause it because this is
You
something.
have the power.
And they'll explain. Past Cade will explain what this whole thing is. So
Perfect.
let's just throw it to past Cade and past Alex. It's 2 years ago.
Here we go.
Hello, Alex, and welcome to. Oh boy,
It's a lot of
Keep
bits.
it going.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, great. Hello, Alex. We're gonna keep that in, but I'm gonna.
This reminds me of the bit that preceded this with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit.
Almost like this, it was destined to fall off
Happen.
the, yeah, where else?
Go ahead.
Pause this time. Hello, Alex,
Hey, Cade.
and welcome to Little Nicky.
Whoa.
Is that what I do? This is Little Nicky. This is a great segment of our show. It's turned out to be a really fun segment, I think. Who knows? I don't know the other half of this segment. Hopefully, it could be. All of our guests have been horribly offended by this segment. And each time, it's the thing that, like, they storm out of the podcast at the end of it saying, I'm not going by Colin.
Sorry.
Oh,
That's a good reference.
this is the one segment that we have recorded before every other show. We've just recorded 4 other names.
Four?
4 other names. I think we're now on our 5th.
Fifth.
We've recorded 5 before this.
5.
Yes.
We've
blends
done
about
several
right.
before this one. And so this is the one part that we have filmed beforehand. And we are trying to
Filmed.
keep it all within around 10 minutes.
10 minutes of this.
Yes. And we, this segment is really great because essentially the way it works is we're coming up with a nickname of a good friend of ours, and we are trying to come up with something that pertains to them, maybe doesn't. Typically, we slowly lose our minds during it and panic about the time, and then just go with our first choice.
That's how it's turned out. so
Pause,
far.
Andrew. Okay. Do you get the bit of this thing? We're coming up with a nickname for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Great.
Got it.
Great. Simple enough? Okay, good.
Sure.
Is this good? Is this good, Kenna?
I'm nervous.
Okay. You should be.
Yeah, good.
You really should be.
Okay.
Andrew, you know, tell her a little bit about yours, just so she can help. You can.
So it's like a dissection of words that eventually reach.
We lose our minds. It's awful. But go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Yes, explain it from an outside perspective. Yes.
So I won't tell you how long it took. It took about. It was longer than 10 minutes, but like. What they got.
It's really not, but it feels like
It
feels like an
longer
eternity.
than 10
Yeah.
minutes.
They eventually got to my new nickname, which was Mr. Clicky.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
Which
It's clicking.
like clicking.
It was a camera.
of a camera.
Understand.
Click.
Okay.
It was clicky, but then it kind of evolved to Mr. Clicky.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which rhymes with
think I
my
get it.
old. I was thinking about this. It rhymes with my old high school nickname, which was Mr. Wrigley.
Oh. Why was that your high school nickname?
Because I used to give out gum to everybody.
Oh, that was your thing?
That was my thing.
Wrigley gum.
Yeah. I would just go
But
up to
like-
random people and just say, hey, you want a piece of gum? That was my thing.
Was it one of those ones that shocks you?
Nope. It was an actual piece of gum.
That was
What
what I
was
would
it
do.
like a was it any Wrigley thing?
It was mainly Orbits. Like
So it wasn't even Wrigley.
Oh, what the heck? Why didn't they call you Mr. Orbits?
Hold on.
No, we're not going to hold on.
Oh my God.
No, we've already made our decisions.
Mr. Orbits.
Rabble. No, it started out with like Wrigley gum and then it just
And
worked.
then it evolved.
Then it evolved to Orbits. So everybody just called
I
me
have
Mr.
an
Wrigley.
orbit story. Sorry. Sometimes these little Nickies, as much as we can get away from what's at hand here. My favorite gum ever in the history of gum, Raspberry Mint Orbit.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
It was great. It was great.
And now it doesn't exist?
So what happened was, no, it does not exist anymore.
Oh, rip.
What happened was, thank you for your condolences. It was my favorite gum. I had a whole, like they'd sell them like at like Walgreens or CVS in like a pack where like there was a bunch of them. I had that, for whenever I bought that, good thing. I bought it for I was getting braces. I'm like, I can't have gum anymore, but I'll have this gum for whenever I stop having these stupid braces. And so I had it for a year or however long you had braces. I don't know.
For years.
Whatever. About a year. How long you had braces? 18 months? Something like that?
I had mine for 15
Okay.
months.
Yeah.
Somewhere, whatever. I was on the top end of it, but it wasn't like.
I want to say my cousin had hers for like 5 years though,
Oh,
but it was
Jesus,
because
yeah.
she had like an
Well, I
incompetent.
didn't have it for that. I never did that.
Ortho.
Did you have bands?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, I
you,
had bands.
or like the rubber band thing?
Yeah.
That like top to bottom.
Oh, I never had to do that.
I
Yeah.
had those. I think I had springs too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd have to take them off to eat.
Yeah,
I had that.
I never did the
Well,
rubber
because
bands.
it was because I had an overbite,
Yeah.
so I had to.
I guess I have a slight overbite, but they didn't ever want to. Guess correct that.
would have been that big a
Yeah.
deal.
I had crooked teeth. I had this tooth was like up here, and I had another tooth that
Yeah,
was
my
like back
bottom
here.
row was
Yeah,
rough.
bottom row.
They pulled.
Did you
out-
have to have I had a physical bar put in for a long time.
My cousin did. She has like a permanent retainer.
Yeah.
I still got
the
mine.
bottom. Oh, the bottom row? Does that come out ever?
Nope.
It's never come out?
Nope.
It's permanent retainer.
Yeah.
Well, I had a permanent retainer and it popped out and they had to on one end and they had to glue it back and then it kept being a problem. And so it just was taken out.
It's still there. Mine's
It's
still
crazy.
there.
Yeah.
Is it just the front row?
Yeah, just right here.
Yeah, that's what mine was.
Like they gave me a retainer, a plastic retainer, but like
And I had that for the top. I had
Yeah,
a plastic
yeah,
bar
I
for the
did.
top. I stopped wearing, and that's why my teeth's kind of gone a little bit out of whack.
I still wear mine.
You still wear yours?
Yeah.
Well, good. That's good.
I have to.
Well, good.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
well, good.
It's the
I had
Christian
to.
Bell.
I had to have 4 teeth
Yeah.
pulled.
Oh,
I'd have one. I had one tooth down here pulled, and then later I got all my wisdom teeth pulled because
some people.
I was so upset because my orthodontist was like, "Dude, you have so." She didn't say "dude." She didn't call me
Dude. Your mouth is like out of
Really huge.
Whoa.
Jaw now.
There's like so many teeth in that.
I've
I
never
gotta.
seen so many teeth in a person before.
Holy crap, bro.
That's a real gnarly setup you got there.
Right after this,
No.
we're gonna. Right after this, we're gonna go hit the waves. Whoa!
Maybe on one of your teeth. These things are huge.
You want us to throw one of
As
these
a
teeth
boogie
into
board.
you want us to throw one of these teeth into the ocean for you? You know, for good luck. We don't really know if that's good luck, but we'll get rid of them for you.
My orthodontist told me
Anyway.
I had plenty of room for my wisdom teeth. Wow, I've never seen this. Like, everybody doesn't have room for their wisdom teeth anymore. And so I was like so proud of that. And then
Said,
eventually-
that wasn't an orthodontist that you saw. That was just some boogie board.
That was who that was a witch doctor.
That's why you never go to a local beach.
for ortho, especially in Oklahoma.
I don't know what you got to worry about. There's so much room in here.
Don't go to a local beach in Oklahoma
Yeah, exactly.
because you're tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but so eventually
Fit a few rows of wisdom teeth in here.
became a problem. We're actually
I don't know
going
what
to
you're
add
worried
other
about.
people's
Yeah,
teeth to
yeah.
your mouth.
Yeah, I got all these wisdom teeth we can just plug in there. Yeah.
You're not using these things.
Yeah,
We
I
could-
got all these teeth. I've been trying to figure out a place for them to go.
It's not a biohazard.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me keep my teeth when they pulled them. I was pretty mad about that. I was
That is sad.
Why would you take that from me?
Yeah, or
And
why
I-
are they keeping them for?
Yeah, I was like, what are you
kind of
gonna
weird
do?
sickos are keeping people's teeth?
Making them into necklaces
Yeah.
and things. But they
Probably
wouldn't let me
selling
have
them on the dark web.
They are.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because
yeah.
what other reason? They were like, it's a biohazard. And I was like, it's my teeth.
Yeah.
It's my bio. It's not a hazard to me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know that was an option. I did not know if you could keep your teeth because when they pulled mine out, they just said, "Would you like to have a look at them?"
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, nobody let me look at them.
They didn't even get
Really?
To see
No, I didn't even
I
get to see
didn't
them.
see the wisdom. I did have two, I think, on the top. They were like some sort of things. And they were real long ones,
Yeah.
and they showed me
The
like here.
fact
That's
that
the
they didn't
thing.
let me see it too
Yeah.
makes me think it was really sketchy stuff they were doing with my teeth.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Like-
that was all of my wisdom, and they were like,
Oh, that's
"They're
their
chock
way.
full.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it."
We're gonna keep it. Yeah.
She can't even see that. She can't see it.
She can't see it.
No.
No, because it would that's too much power.
Yeah, because I would become wise to the fact that
Yeah.
that was,
That was it. That was
was
all
it.
your stuff.
and now they have it.
Now they have it. Now they're wearing it. Now they're grinding it up and snorting it.
Yeah,
Snorting your
Probably
wisdom
so.
teeth.
I got my eye on you,
Yeah.
guys.
Guys, yeah. Well, good. You ready to continue with little Nicky?
I am very ready. I would love to hear how this happens.
Great.
And that's the segment called Lil Nicky. At the end of it, they either accept or decline their new Lil Nicky.
You do.
Oh, okay.
All right, how much time on the clock?
Much time? We didn't
Oh,
spend that much
God.
time with this opening.
Do we
You
want
have
to
any-
do
you have
8.5 minutes?
I don't think you're part of this one. Do you want to say anything to Kenna?
Kenna, I remember. I think my first class with you was my freshman year of college.
Oh, really? Was
I
that
think
that's before me?
Yeah, but I mean, I knew of you, but no. How are you doing? I think I had.
She
I had
did
a
not
class-
respond to you.
Kenna, I hope you're doing well. I've seen some of your stuff. Obviously, it's all really good.
She's very talented.
She's very talented.
Tally.
Pause.
That's a comment.
Debbie's nickname was Tally. There's a lot of different references in this little thing.
Okay.
This is at the end of a long session of us. So you're getting even further down than what other people's are.
Excellent.
Even further of
Which
a
seems
mind
to be
loss.
the theme of this whole
Yes,
podcast.
yeah.
So I think of ours.
Yes.
To be a little bit more clear, they were drinking whenever they did this.
Yeah, we were
Were you?
hard liquor.
Oh.
No, we were.
No.
I didn't think so. I was like, I believe that about Alex, but probably not Cade,
Yeah. Oh, we were just getting loopy off our own brain juice.
which is great too.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, I'm doing great. Thank you.
He really thinks you're talented or something.
I love
whatever he
that.
said. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Anyways, have a great day, Kenna. All right, you know what? Because of that, we now have less time on the clock. How about
Maybe you shouldn't have complimented her.
7 minutes 20 seconds
7 minutes, 20 seconds sounds perfect.
and start.
Okay.
Should be less.
So, I I honestly, so I met Kenna through a academic conference. The first time I ever met her.
Good.
Which is
a little bit
strange
fresher in my
because
mind then.
I didn't have very many classes with her really until like our last year at college.
Wow,
And
we should have
she's,
just played this instead
Skipped
of
right to it.
does a lot of videography work. Very
Videography?
talented at that a lot. Really good editor.
Oh,
I think she's a
you're
really great editor.
Thank you.
I don't know Kenna as
least
well,
you're
but
correct.
I've seen some of what she's done. I saw her capstone. The one that I'm relating most to is the capstone, and it was a very well done capstone.
There you go.
It was.
So I agree. Like the editing, I definitely think it was one of the best.
Yes, she won top.
She did.
capstone.
Okay, I wasn't sure she did, so she was very good. Boy, the timer is running right now.
Okay, so I would describe
Winner.
Winner.
Kenna.
Winner.
Kawina. Kawina?
Well, why are you putting co in front of it?
This is what
No,
happens.
I think it works. Winna.
Winna.
Kenna. Winna.
I remember now.
I don't know if that's going to be a...
Winna Kenna.
Winna Kenna?
Do we put we leave Kenna in there? Winna Kenna.
Do we change the spelling of Kenna to just like...
I'm so
I
sorry,
don't think
Kenna.
so. Okay. Winna.
I love it.
Kenna.
Winna Kenna.
Winna Kenna. That's one option.
Good editor. Good editing. Good...
Editor.
Editor. Adidas? Adidas.
Adidas.
Adida. Adida.
Adida.
No?
Adida do. Adida dee. What is that? That's a song.
I think it is.
Wait, I don't know if I can leave this in with me singing a song.
What is that song?
Who knows? Does it count if I don't know what song that is?
Still don't know what song that is.
Pause it for a second. What song is that?
I've heard that song.
Yeah.
What's the-
Yeah.
Dee-da-dee-da-do.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
That exists.
I don't know. It was in a lot of birthday cards with like hamsters and other rodents.
Yeah.
So, like the ones you open and it sings.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a dance. It's kind of a dance song.
The only one I know is like
Dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. That's how it goes. It's like even that lyric.
Yeah,
How
like
do-
those are the words.
Those are the words.
Dee-da-dee-da-dee-do-do. Dee-da-dee-dee-do.
the only one I know.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm not alone in this because
No,
Alex
I-
was looking at me now. I remember blankly that like it was
Yeah. No, I know that song.
The only one I know is like
only song Andrew
blue
knows.
dabo dee baba die dabo
No.
dee
That's
da
it's
da-
not I'm Blue by
Not
Eiffel
even-
64 or
Not
whatever,
even
65
close.
or whatever it is.
No, I
That's a good song in general, though.
A second of a lyric. I don't think it's going to... You know, everything's been in a lyric by now.
Yeah.
Kenna.
Yes.
Good editing. Editina. Tina.
Tina. Can you explain your thought process there?
So editing, Kenna. Edit, Inna. Dit, Tina. I don't know how I got
Editina.
Editina. Tina.
I'm not gonna write that down.
Oh, I kind of like Tina.
Tina. Just gonna
Tina.
Tina works. Do you want to put Tina down?
I want Tina down.
Okay.
I think
Any
it's-
Greek god you want to write down?
Pause for a second. Got to explain that joke. Ariel's was the Greek god of Poseidon. Was what hers was
Okay.
offered to her. So this
Well,
is a
that's
lot
great.
of you're getting a lot of deep cut references to past episodes
Yeah.
in here. So this will be good for listeners, avid listeners. Callbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mars.
Mars.
Is that
That's
Greek?
Roman.
Oh.
So we got like Apollo.
That's Greek,
Athena.
right? Apollo.
I think so. Yeah.
We got also this is a callback by the way as
Oh, I
well.
didn't have to
Just
explain it.
why we said that.
Oh boy.
Goodness, Cade. Probably should
Continue
listen
with
to
this
these
bit.
beforehand. So I know
4 minutes.
what not to.
Not to preface.
This is the best one we have so far. We've been in this for 3 minutes.
So Winna is also pretty good though.
It is.
Win
Winna.
Dixie
Winna.
because of Win Dixie.
Win Dixie.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went on a class.
Kixie.
Kixie.
Dixie.
Kixie.
Because Kixie has the K in it at least.
Yeah. Kixie. Dixie Kixie.
No.
I unzipped my jacket there. I don't know if you heard it, but I unzipped my jacket.
Yeah.
It
Thank you
doesn't
for
really matter to
explaining
this.
Zip.
Yeah.
Zip.
Zippa.
Zippa.
Oh god.
you go.
Zippa.
Could tell
Oh
we're
boy,
losing brain
sorry,
cells.
Kenna.
Well, no, I mean, it is a little difficult because I know Kenna more than you do, and you don't know Kenna that well. So
I don't know if I ever had a class. I had like one, maybe 2 classes.
she's
with
got a
her.
good sense of humor. She's
Humor.
hummus.
Humongous.
Hummus.
Oh.
Hummus.
Love hummus.
Humor, Kenna. You know what? I'm going to write down humor, Kenna, hummus.
There we go. That's the whole thought process.
That's going to end up being the name. That's going to end up being
is
her
it going to be the
nickname.
name?
I'm calling it now. It's either that or Tina.
Okay, we need to come up with
Wasn't
one more.
hoping
What
for
time-
Tina
how much
until
time we have
now.
We have 3
I'll
minutes.
let you have the other
go
3
second.
minutes.
left? We have no seconds left. We've run out of time.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
I like hummus.
You want to add mayor in front of me?
Mayor.
Mayor Tina.
Mayor.
Mayor.
Mayor Tina.
Mayor Tina.
Okay, so we got
boy.
we had whittled down 2.
We're going to whittle them.
Zippa.
Pause it for a second. So Ariel's had mayor. It was one of the. It was 2 of them that had mayor. So yeah, that's where mayor comes from.
Okay. I hope you don't explain that 2 years ago now, too.
Yeah. Click play.
Okay, go ahead.
I think he spaced out there.
No.
Oh, you played it, though.
Oh, Zippa's pretty good.
Humor Kenna hummus.
Stupid. I'm sorry.
Winna Kenna. Or Mayor Tina.
Okay, get rid of the winner, Kimma. We can whittle that one out. Okay, hang on. If we go with the hummus one, is that the full nickname?
The full nickname is Humor Kenna hummus.
No one can call her anything shorter than that. If she accepts this nickname and they're calling her a nickname,
I
it
think
has
that
to be
they
the full
can still
nickname.
call her by her actual name, but her nickname, that you know, because you're such good friends, would be calling her, "Hey, look, it's what Humor Kenna hummus."
Humor.
Also, I'm going to vote against that one.
Also, no.
We can only vote for 2. Okay, you ready?
Okay,
vote for
name them
2.
again. Name them again. We have a minute.
We have 3 of these. Vote for 2.
Okay.
Zippa,
Zippa.
Humor hummus, Mayor Tina. Well, I think I know which one I'm going to get my vote all the way through. And it's Mayor Tina.
But Mayor is already in one of them.
No, we didn't go with Mayor with Ariel's.
Right, but we called it. Mayor Tina. Okay, I'll get rid of hummus. Get rid of the hummus one.
Mayor was so great that I think that because it didn't work for Ariel. Mayor Tina is a pretty great nickname.
Okay,
I'm going-
Mayor Tina.
Mayor Tina?
Okay, Mayor Tina it is.
Okay.
Your little Nicky is Mayor Tina.
Kenna, do you accept or decline your little Nicky?
We'll just stop. Yeah.
Excellent. I do I respond now?
Yeah, you can respond now.
I wholeheartedly accept
Oh.
Maritina.
Okay. Woo. Applause. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Well, I'm glad. That's nice. That's good. So people can call you that now.
Maritina,
Yeah.
sure.
Is it just your close friends or anybody in general?
I mean, I think anybody who understands it should be able to call me that.
Anyone who's watched or whatever into this podcast? Like,
Yeah. Anyone into this podcast can call me Maritina. Nobody else.
Great. So we have Mr. Clicky and Mayor Tina here.
You accepted yours. I did. Nice.
I did.
Has anyone declined yet?
No one has declined, really,
Okay.
as of yet. I guess it's always possible. I think
like
people
it.
try to be a good sport about it, but I
I really like mine.
Oh, you
Maritina
really like
is
it?
funny. I love that.
I have a question.
oh sure, Mr. Clicky.
Thank you. What do we call you?
I don't know.
We're gonna have to do one for you.
Yeah.
All of
In
Cade's
secret.
friends get together.
Yeah.
What did Diane play this game?
Diane did not play this
Oh,
game. We didn't
okay.
record one for Diane. That's
Dang.
so sad. That's so sad.
What about Jennifer?
No, Jennifer was you in this episode, which means that she wasn't. She pivoted and made all the focus to be the guest and didn't talk about AIDS or whatever.
It was about how yearbook saved his life.
Yeah,
Cade.
sorry. Yeah, you're right. Cured his AIDS. Our yearbook cured his AIDS.
Oh Lord.
Darla, if you're watching.
Yeah, Darla.
So sorry.
Yeah, I have AIDS.
Love you,
The
Dollar
only-
Tresner. Miss T.
The only prescription is
More cowbell.
more
More
journalism.
More journalism.
Oh God. Okay. That's been Little Nicky. Do you have the
Yay.
music for that? Wow.
I didn't forget about it this time.
No.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll state my senior year
In pushing buttons.
in pushing buttons.
Yeah. And then so from that point on, so we, I don't know, just to pick up from where we met at these academic conferences where we were like writing. What was your paper that you shopped around? What was your paper on? Your research?
At Ostica?
At Ostica, I guess first. Yeah.
I think that one was the personhood of non-human animals.
Oh, okay.
Like PETA paper.
That was the same that you took to, where was the one that we went to? Where did we go? We went to Lawton, right?
Yeah.
Was it the same one? Because I think mine was the same one both
Think
times.
so.
Yeah.
And then we just presented
Yes.
at a
At a classroom in there that no one was really at.
well, yes, but the
Story.
the next paper that we did, we
yes.
presented at our college and like at our university, and it was part of a thing
Yes.
there that they did.
Well, Oscar was there, right? Oh, you're talking about, yes. Okay. Oscar was the one that was in line, right? Or was that the one that's
Is
in?
it?
There was one there was Shield.
That's the
That's
one.
the one that we met at, right?
No, we met at Ostica.
We met at Oscar?
Shield was way later, and I was a different paper in.
Well, did we not do 2 Shields?
I wasn't at the first Shield. I never submitted my work to those. Dr. Avusa did.
Yes.
And then was
Yeah.
like, "You're coming."
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
Yeah.
That's how she did it. Because whenever I had a paper that went up for Ostica, and I didn't even submit it, she submitted it for me.
I thought it
I
was
did.
Shield that or whatever or one something there that's what we met. It was one at RSU.
Really?
Yeah.
I felt like Shield was later. I don't know.
There was a Shield conference.
I did 2
in
I did one.
spring of that year. Spring of
Yeah.
2019.
The place where I felt like you and I bonded was Ostica. And I went and found that room where we were supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
No one could find it.
Yes,
and
because
we
there
didn't
was
wanna
some
walk
sort of
through a
party that was- yes.
to get to it.
Because it was the opening
And we
convention.
did. And we opened the doors and just compared like the dichotomy
Yes.
between this like amazing party outside and then like this
Yes.
room that we got shoved into was like hilarious. And
Yes,
then the
there was a little tiny
centerpieces
little-
were giant.
There was a little tiny room, but it was like a ballroom that was like sectioned off, so it was like a little small
Yes.
thing with partitions, and they were having like this massive. I don't know, it was some sort of. It was a
Amazing.
business party though. I would
Yeah,
imagine, like, but it
it
was
was.
like they had masks, right?
People were dressed to the nines. It was masquerade.
Yes,
photo
masquerade.
booth,
Really?
Yes.
music, food. I mean, just insane. And then we
had to
in.
walk through. They're like, "Oh, there's this big thing going on. Is this we're supposed to be going through?" And it was like, "No, we're past all of that in this small room and kind of found in the corner."
And there's like some elderly people
Yes,
like
they were
with like
just milling-
walkers
yes.
in there. And,
Little
like,
finger foods. Yeah.
and they're like, here you go.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And this giant, you're right, there's this giant centerpiece that you couldn't, like, you're supposed to sit at a table and have conversation, but you
Yes.
couldn't see the person across from you.
Because I sat across from Cade
Yes.
and we were talking about it. We were like riffing on
Yes,
it. And that's
we
when I
had
was like,
yeah.
okay, me and this guy are friends.
Yes,
Like,
is that we can riff on the giant centerpiece. That was,
yeah. Because I laughed like genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
You made me like actually laugh, which was, I mean, it was hilarious.
Yes. And then from that point, so we presented to a classroom with our stuff. Mine was on Netflix, the effects of Netflix on like the movie going experience. So yeah, if you ever want to know about that,
Cade's got it.
it got it, yeah.
On lock.
But they we drove out there and we did that and everything. But then we had other classes and stuff together. Very not very much until senior year at the very end. And then what happened was, I think why we're still friends and all that is I invited you to do that trivia that summer afterwards, which was at the OMA, the Museum Association. We worked for when I was volunteering for Will Rogers Museum, they have a annual trivia thing for all the different museums in Oklahoma. And we needed extra people on our team, and I invited you over to go to that in Oklahoma
I believe
City.
because Alex couldn't go, right? Wasn't that it?
Yes, I'm trying to think. I think so. Alex was previously. I'm trying to remember how that all worked out, but I think Alex was gone anyways. Back to when because I think that's when he had his first Disney college thing.
So he had left and couldn't come to it, and so
I think it was a last minute just ask too for you.
Yeah, it was. It was like tonight.
Yeah,
can you come tonight? And I was like, yeah. And I just graduated college.
Yeah.
It was summer. Like, what else was I doing?
Yeah.
You know? But then from that, a very fruitful long-term relationship.
Yes,
With not only you, but Diane, Jen.
Yeah, you know all of them now.
Yeah.
You know all those guys.
Andrew's still around.
Andrew then joined up the team,
Yeah.
and that was fun. And so
Andrew would play on a rival team's team many nights.
yes, Andrew would very openly be on another team than ours,
Right in front of our faces.
right in front of our faces.
Yes, I did.
And I think he did it just to hurt us.
Yeah, Jay Farley's. That was
Well, I want to tell you all something right now. That is completely true, Cade.
Andrew did it to spite us.
I got so much pleasure out of that.
Yeah, and he'd do it again. And,
Except, oh wait, which team has disbanded? And which team is still going strong?
Not the
winning
one.
first place.
yeah, we won first
Last
place
week.
last week. It's official.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dead Tansen. We'll say it here on the air for the very first time.
Dead
By
Tansen.
God.
Yeah.
That's
By
the
God.
plug.
That's-
They reveal the trivia team name.
They revealed it. This is a long time coming. This is like a series finale of. We've mentioned this all the time. We finally say the name of the.
And so casually, too.
So casually.
It's kind of popped out of your mouth. Dead
sorry.
Tansen. We're saying it.
We're saying it. Yeah.
What's the team called?
Dead Tansen. Thank you. Thank you. There was a glitch in our audience.
They stopped. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, audience.
All right.
Yes.
That's enough of that.
Do you want to do this segment?
What is it? This has gone on a really long
This has
time.
been a really long time. Is this going to be, you want to do it?
I mean, we could do it, and then you can choose which segments to include.
Yeah. The other segments were so good.
They were, but maybe, yeah.
Okay.
You do a Patreon where you show the cutout segments. You're like, if you want to see,
So much more.
This
So
can
much
be
more.
this can be in the director's cut.
It's the director's
Yeah.
cut. We could have an extra long one here. I think what people need is they went through the valley that this episode went through.
and now
No, this is the treat that you get. This is the audience for you guys that, you went through all of that dark, depressing stuff. And now you're going to get Andrew, you ready? Got the sound effects ready? You're going to get a movie smoothie. Oh my God.
I couldn't really read it.
Oh, welcome to Movie Smoothie. You made it to the other end of this roller coaster. Woo.
you're still with us.
You're still with us.
Jesus.
You made it, and we're gonna celebrate
Do something
now.
with your life.
Bless your hearts. Bless your hearts.
Great. We got 5 movies written down here, and we're gonna blend them up in a smoothie. How's that sound, guys?
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
Great. So, the way I explain this is I say that, some movies are described as blank, means it's blank. I think we've mentioned. Remember Thoroughbreds? Did you ever watch Thoroughbreds, Andrew?
no, I didn't.
They in the advertising they called it Heathers meets American Psycho.
Yeah. No, I never. I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but no.
Never
I saw
watched Heathers or American Psycho.
It had,
That marketing wouldn't mean anything to you. Freaky was another one that they made that there was it was Freaky Friday meets Friday the 13th.
yeah. I have seen that one.
You've seen that one? Well,
Yeah.
you've seen it since we filmed your episode because when I mentioned it, you said you hadn't seen it.
Either that or you're a liar.
Or it's one of those two. Which one is it, Andrew?
I've seen it.
How dare you accuse him of being a liar? He took that very personally.
You know what? I guess there's no way of knowing.
Let's take your word for it. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to each say our movie, our top movie, or whatever, or in our order. First movie.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to come up with a movie.
Like a plot?
A plot that takes elements of each of those.
Perfect.
Yes, that kind of makes a cool new movie. It could be a sequel to one of these. I think we did a mix between Pirates of the Caribbean and Santa Claus. And that was the idea was that Jack Sparrow killed Santa Claus, became the new Santa Claus. So it's kind of a mix between Disney properties. Which I'm sure now it's being worked on now that the trial went through. And he's
TM.
We won the rights to it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. What's your first one, Andrea? We'll start with you over there.
This one I just saw today.
Okay.
This is Spinal Tap.
Oh, you watched it.
I did watch it.
Oh, that's fun, Andrew. You want your CD back? Well, you're not getting it. Andrew gifted me a Spinal Tap CD because he had never seen Spinal Tap before.
Oh, I have never seen Spinal Tap.
Oh.
It's a Christopher Guest, yeah?
Christopher Guest.
Yeah.
It's Rob Reiner.
It's a Rob Reiner movie.
But it's
Yeah.
partial. I mean, it has Christopher Guest as one of them.
Absolutely something I should see. Just haven't yet.
What's your first one?
My first one is Big.
Whoa.
Big.
Okay.
Big.
The Tom Hanks classic. Where the woman has sex with the little boy.
That is true.
And nobody questions.
Whoa. Talk about it. Whoa. Hold on.
It's very sad.
Pedophilia. Let's not take this to a dark place. This is the up. This is the up.
The up. This is the up. Twister.
Okay.
Yeah. Very upbeat movie for people about, well, it's not. It's got some dark elements.
Well, it's about tornadoes.
About, tornadoes that kill people and stuff.
Right.
Right.
Twisters, some people call them.
Yes, people call them twisters. It's an Oklahoma classic, really.
I've never seen that either.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, truly. Mm-hmm. I've told you all I wasn't allowed to watch movies growing up. So.
I mean, if
decades to catch up on here.
3.5 hours away is the place where they filmed it.
That's why I brought it up so Andrew could tell this story again.
Andrew's done. Looks like he's gonna punch Cade in the face.
Great, Andrew.
Okay, so what was this movie again?
Spinal Tap. Okay, so what's the spirit? What gets us the spirit of all these things? So it's a mockumentary. We could just take that from Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's some sort of mockumentary about
a once prominent British rock band that is very unknowingly seeing its decline.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the movie's about.
Right. And so we'll take the mockumentary aspect from that.
Or we could take that it's a band at the center of it. There's a few different things we could take from Spinal Tap.
I love mockumentaries though.
You will like that.
Yes.
I was laughing out loud.
Good. Okay, I'm going to go home and watch it.
Good. And then
Big.
So a kid, a person that is transformed into an adult would be the main thing you could probably get from Big, right?
Yeah. Unless you want to get like 80s games. Called?
A Zoltar?
Like Zoltar, but like what is it called?
Like a Wish, or is that what you're talking about?
It's like isn't it like a
fairy tale?
Yeah. I mean,
it's a wish fulfillment.
It's a fantasy.
It's a fantasy. So someone grants someone a wish, you could do that as well. From
Okay.
Big, I guess, as well. And then I guess Twister is really the only thing is there's tornadoes centered around.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's storm trackers of some sort, storm chasers.
So basically a mockumentary about twisters that come from a video game machine.
Or a mockumentary about storm chaser or kids that want to grow
Want to grow up big to be a storm chaser.
Become storm chasers, and in that way, they have to grow up really fast because now they're in dangerous situations.
Good. I think that's a good story.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we did it. Okay,
Good
what's
job.
our next one? Good job, team. Hollywood, send us an email to
Got you another
cadefriends@gmail.com and we'll talk it. We'll negotiate it.
All
What's your
right.
second one, Kenna?
My second one is Moana.
Okay. I never saw Moana.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay.
That's good.
What's yours, Andrew?
Born on the 4th of July.
Okay. Have you seen that one?
No.
Okay.
This is a fun game to play with me.
Okay. I haven't ever seen Born on the 4th of July either, so that's actually one that I haven't.
It's a Oliver Stone Vietnam War flick that has Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we'll just take Tom Cruise from that. As Tom Cruise.
And then mine's Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
All right.
So I feel like Moana and the Big Plant might be a thing. Moana has to protect
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise from a giant
Audrey 2.
Yeah.
Monster. Cool.
monster plant.
Musical, it works.
Yeah.
It works really well.
Perfect.
And
Actually,
Born on
great
the 4th of
crossover.
July is a musical too, right? If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom
I mean-
Cruise's
Yeah, they sing about how
musical
sad the
debut.
Vietnam War was, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it all comes from a dude who's in a wheelchair.
Tom
Yeah.
Cruise is an excellent vocalist.
Yeah. Well, we know from Rock of Ages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Great. My third one.
But it has to be directed by Oliver Stone.
Yeah, he'll do a good job. He's in a sane state of mind currently.
Yeah.
Not conspiratorial at all. That's,
Me doing ASMR now.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
What's your third one? I'll do mine
Let
first.
me show you what my third one
Oh,
is.
everyone get out your papers here and read what your third one is.
Mark off the first one.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I don't have mine. You don't. Oh, I don't have a click your part. Let me get that off of there. Let me mark off Twister and mark off Little Shop.
Cade, you gave me a pencil, so I have to like work
Erase.
extra hard now.
Yeah, erase it if you could erase the. Oh yeah, there. Just erase it off there.
That's the most like non-calming
Yeah,
like ASMR.
yeah. This is really calming for people, right? They
want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
We call this one "Good Luck Resting."
Okay,
Mine's.
we got that one. We're on 3, right?
We're on 3. Yes,
Okay.
we nailed that one right off the bat. Blade Runner's mine.
All right.
Blade Runner. Mine is Parent Trap.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Mine is The Dark Knight.
Okay.
So
This one's a little tougher to nail right off.
I have never seen Parenthood.
Parent Trap.
Parent
Parent
Trap.
I've never seen Parent Trap.
You've never seen Parent Trap?
You never saw Parenthood either?
I've never seen either.
I've seen both.
Yeah, I've seen both. I've seen
and
both as
Parent
well.
Trap.
Yeah.
I've never seen Parent Trap.
Parenthood's under people. Sorry, that's not what we're talking about. But Parenthood's underrated.
I agree.
That's a Steve Martin movie.
Well,
isn't
Yeah,
it?
Steve Martin, Rick Moranis is in it. Yeah.
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 I love I love that guy.
Yeah.
I really thought you were going to be like, I love McRib. That is Rick Moranis's
Little Nicky.
little Nicky.
Yeah,
is
McRib. I love McRib.
McRib. What happened to him?
Yeah, what happened to him?
He shrunk all his kids. He shrunk himself, and then he was out.
And he's out. He retired. He actually
Yeah,
retired.
but for some reason, right? Like, wasn't it something with his
with his wife.
His
Yeah.
wife had cancer and died, and he wanted to take care of his kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a similar story with Michael Bublé, who it was his son, right?
Oh, I don't know about Michael Bublé.
Yeah, he stepped away from music because I think his son had child cancer,
Oh,
that's-
wow.
and he
that's
wanted to help his
terrible.
wife. I want to say that's why. If I'm totally butchering it, I'm sorry, but I want to say that's why.
Great. How
Okay.
are we going to get in a dark place, kinda?
Yeah, what is going on? It's my fault, obviously. Okay, so,
So, Blade Runner's the setting, I would imagine.
yeah, obviously, I feel like
Yeah. And then yours is Parent Trap. So I think that's the premise. You have to take
Right.
the premise of Parent Trap.
exactly.
So this takes place
Within
in
the world of
Blade
Blade
Runner.
Runner.
So 2019 Los
In
Angeles.
futuristic 2019 Los Angeles.
Oh, God, if only they knew.
Yeah. And they're sitting there and they're this is just happening tangentially where there's androids and all that happening.
Yes.
Maybe this is like one of the parents works for oh God, what's the thing? Is it Wayland Utah? I get the
No,
two.
it's not Wayland. I forgot the name of the company. It's
That's Alien. That's Wayland Utah.
yeah. It's
Oh goodness. Hey Google, what's the corporation in the Blade Runner movies?
Tyrell Corporation.
yeah.
According to Wikipedia,
Okay,
the
that's
film
enough.
is set in a dystopian future Los Angeles of 2019, in which synthetic humans known as replicants are bioengineered by the powerful Tyrell Corporation to work on space
Can I mute
colonies.
it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Google. A little chatty. Okay.
a lot less chatty than Alexa. I'll
I
tell
went
you
to
that.
school with a guy named Tyrell.
What was that like?
It was fine.
Good.
We were like frenemies. So.
For enemies.
Oh,
Yeah, like not even like Yeah.
Just halfway.
We were just there. We
Foot in
existed
each
together.
door.
Fifth
Right.
grade. You know, what are
Yeah.
you going to do? Fourth,
Yeah.
probably, actually.
Okay. That's fun. What was yours again? Batman? Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
That's a little bit more difficult, isn't it?
So
Also because I've never seen Dark Knight.
That's weird.
okay.
Is Batman secretly like the father to twins?
Yeah. Do you take Batman or do you set it in the Batman world and then what would you take from Blade Runner?
This is what I was thinking.
Okay. lay it
The
down.
blue alien that sings.
That's the Fifth Element.
Oh my God. I always get those two movies confused. Fifth Element and Blade Runner are the same movie in my head.
Okay.
Which one has Bruce
Harrison-
Willis?
That's Fifth
That's
Element.
Fifth
Okay,
Element.
and then Harrison
So
Ford is in.
Yeah, Blade
Yeah.
Runner.
They're just both in both movies to me.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I should have written Fifth Element down.
This is what I was thinking was that like Batman, this takes place takes place in the Blade Runner setting.
Okay.
Batman
19 Los Angeles.
Batman is currently trying to hunt down the people who took the replicants who are the two girls from the Parent Trap.
The two girls from the Parent Trap
Are replicants?
Yeah.
Okay.
So did the Parent Trap take place in 2019 Los Angeles?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Okay.
He's trying to save them from the Joker.
The replicants.
Yes.
How did Batman
The replicant. Yeah.
So Batman just exists in the
world.
In the world.
Yes.
I don't think this one's working as much. It's got too many things pulling into several different directions, right?
Okay.
Right? Don't you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah.
It's not everyone could be winners. There are too many strong ones. Someone should have backed off and picked a little
Yeah.
more, less of a strong choice, I think.
Yeah.
We all came a little too hard with this
Too
one.
hard for it.
That's fine.
That's okay.
Fine. That's okay. We'll make it up next time.
It's all good.
Okay. Just pick your best one out of these two.
Out of the next two?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. That one's hard.
Okay. Well, you guys want to do two more rounds of this?
Let's just go.
Okay. What's your next
Two
one?
more rounds.
Your next one, Andrew. Let's
Oh.
make it lightning quick.
I want this to be 2 hours long.
Well, I think you've got your wish. We're 2.5 hours currently.
No way.
Holy
You're going to have to
Lord.
cut so much.
Yes.
Which is fine.
Mine.
It's fine. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. That's fine.
I'm just saying, like, please cut some.
Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
Mine is Bob's Burgers movie.
The true indie movie of our
True
time.
indie of our time.
I think we all. I think
Well,
we
that's
can all
funny that you
agree.
guys both did that because like that was what their competing ones were.
Yeah.
We're talking about that's Hollywood and that's indie.
I know, how funny is that?
That is hilarious.
Come full circle.
Come full circle,
You'll have to
people.
at least
Full
include
circle.
this
Yes.
and that.
Yeah. Was that in our Patreon thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm getting confused about what
That
part
was-
it
We've been doing this for 5 hours.
That was 2.5 hours ago.
I got it. Mine is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so Bob's Burgers is obviously the
The
stars.
vehicle. Yeah, they're the characters.
Yeah, they're the characters.
This is just a fun movie in which they what was yours?
Top Gun
Oh,
Maverick.
Top Gun. Okay. So
Yeah.
they're making fun of how they, didn't win the battle with them at the box office, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to do like a Top Gun thing, right?
Yeah.
And somehow they're going to do a Raiders
So they
thing.
do Top Gun. What if they go to flight school?
Okay. They all go to the whole family.
They all go to flight school. To learn how to be Top Gun Maverick, right?
They crash land in Peru and have to do the whole.
And then have to do the Raiders of the Lost Ark to get
right.
out and get back home.
Yeah.
To Bob's Burgers, where
Yes.
like Teddy's like sitting there and he's like, "Where's my burger?"
Perfect.
Love it.
That seemed to do it. Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Okay.
Okay, last one.
Last one. Andrew.
A League of Their Own.
Get Out.
The Shining.
Fun.
Fun. So a baseball themed.
A baseball themed horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go. They stay the night at the Overlook.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, the 1940s baseball team goes to stay the night at the Overlook Hotel when they realize that, holy mother of God,
It's a
it's
prequel.
haunted.
It's a prequel to The Shining.
So what do they have
And then
to
they
do?
all get kidnapped.
Yeah. One of
And-
the teammates has these twins and they get murdered there or whatever. It's a prequel.
And one of them turns into a axe
Grady.
wielding, an axe wielding maniac.
Yeah.
That is Tom Hanks.
Okay, yeah.
And then Get Out I mean, you just, I guess, would incorporate. It's directed by Jordan Peele. That's who directed it. Jordan Peele directs this movie.
Perfect. Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Please do this.
Yeah.
Please.
We've signed him up.
Get on this for us.
Yeah.
You'll be here next week,
Yeah.
right?
He's the next. Yeah, he's the next Cade Friends.
Okay, cool.
He's in the closet. Everyone is Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. We're just trying to wait for his name to be called out.
He's been in there for now 12 hours.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
We haven't eaten. We haven't slept.
Great. Well, that has been Movie Smoothie.
Trying to...
Movie smoothie.
Oh, that's been Movie Smoothie. That was fun.
That was fun.
This has been a journey. It's a long time. That was a good, thing of that. Before we close it out, we did, every, I don't know if you remember this, Andrew, but every time we, what we do is we, I was just making sure. We ask the people if they want to send in a questions, comments, or concerns to our email account.
Yeah.
cadefriends@gmail.com. And we once again ask people if they have any questions, comments, or deep concerns about us, which I think this will elicit some concerns.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Probably.
I hope so.
I hope we have some. We might have to have you back on to bring in the things of people the concerns that they
cool.
have for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I would love to hear it. So please send, guys, please. I want to come back and do another 5 hours.
You most likely are seeing a very shortened version of this, or very because we've
Hopefully.
hopefully, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. We've had. I think Andrew's was about 2 hours.
Yeah, it was an hour and 50 minutes.
There you go, and it had some stuff cut out.
Okay.
So yeah.
So there we go. So our thing is we had someone send in a question to us, and they actually sent it as a video. Cool.
Oh,
So you can
cool.
do that. You could do an audio thing. We'll play it here or whatever, or you could just send an actual email. Either one. So here we go. You can send to our thing. And I want to get this.
Do I need to turn anything up on here?
No, it should play. You should hear it because
Okay.
I think it's the one over. That's what I was looking at, making sure.
Okay.
So let me get this correct. This person is out of Ohio, and it's Alex C.
Is it on? Okay, it's on. Hey guys, just got back from the gym, trying to get into shape. Speaking of shapes, if you could be any shape, what shape would you be and why?
Oh, that's a good question from a listener.
It's a really great question. It's really good.
Thanks, listener.
Thanks, Alex C.
Thanks. You.
Great.
Who wants to go first? Is it me?
Yeah, I guess so. It's your question.
You're the guest.
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of the obvious answer, I guess.
Oh,
We're all thinking it. Mm-hmm. I know we are.
okay.
Every single one of us
lay it on us.
wish we could be
Is
the
Alex
shape.
C from Ohio? Is he thinking it?
I'm sure. I'm sure Alex C from Ohio is thinking the triangle.
Triangle.
Because
I was
it
thinking
is-
triangle too a little bit.
I know you were.
You said everyone was.
Every single person. And we were, right, Andrew?
I was thinking diamond,
Okay.
which is like a triangle.
It's like two triangles. So
Yeah.
we were all thinking triangle.
yeah.
And it's because it's the strongest shape.
Is it the strongest shape?
It's the strongest shape.
Is that why all the structures and everything is a triangle?
Exactly. Have you seen the Louvre, friends? The Louvre.
Yeah. It's a triangle. It's not a pyramid. It's a
triangle.
it's a two-dimensional shape.
It is. And this is where you guys find out, those of you who haven't seen it in real life, it's just a triangle.
Yeah. There's nothing on the
And-
other side of it.
Yeah. Not a pyramid.
Yeah.
So it's like think of it
I
like
guess a shape could be, are we bringing in three-dimensional things or is it just 2D shapes?
I guess anything.
Yeah. Alex C wasn't very clear with his question.
Yeah, it could just be any shape.
Any shape. So what are you saying? You're saying a diamond?
diamond.
So you mean like a,
Like this one.
what do you
right?
mean? Like that?
Yeah.
Or
Or
like
Yeah, like it.
putt diamond.
Like a. I mean, like a.
like a,
I was
Yeah, what do
thinking.
you mean?
Hang on a minute.
explain yourself right now.
I will.
He's like, hang on. Explain.
I have to draw it out.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, just like
Two
like that.
triangles. Two triangles.
So it's like a rhombus.
Kind of, yeah. Like a square.
a rhombus.
Like a square.
We should have a segment where Cade just pronounces shapes.
Like a rhombus.
Rhombus. It's like almost old Greggish.
Yeah.
Do you love me?
You ever drink Bailey's from a shoe-
talented.
Like this right here. Like just you take a square. And
Yeah,
you
I'm glad
shove it
I
on
saw
the
that,
ends.
not the audience. That's the people. That's what needs to see it.
There you go.
There you
That's the
go.
one.
Get your camera.
Oh, you can't. Can you see it?
There you go. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
That's really poorly drawn. Can Alex see from
Alex,
Ohio?
that's the shape Andrew wants to be. A rhombus.
Well, yeah.
I'm in love with the shape of diamonds.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, cool. We got it.
Yeah, I think triangle's pretty cool. I think, because of our shape, we've went quite heavily into the hexagons here on Cade and Friends. Once again, a
Yeah.
very satanic thing.
Pentagons.
Oh, they're pentagons. Oh, sorry, we're not hex. Well, hex is like witchcraft, right?
Hex to hex. Yeah.
Pentagram is satanic.
But a
Right.
but a pentagram's 5.
Yeah.
So
So is a pentagon.
yes,
Pent.
Pent.
Again. is
yes,
the root.
5. Yeah. So actually, yeah, this is just a witch thing.
So
it's a
we're
little
witchy here.
We're witchy. Yeah. Ooh.
I'm satanic. I knew I was like,
Yeah.
Pentagon, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You got it. You correct me right away. Yeah. That's
It's
good.
a little too quick on the draw, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be like, oh no.
Oh no. Yeah. I don't know. Alex.
You don't know your shape?
No. I think a circle's pretty cool.
Circles are cool.
Circles
I
are
thought
cool.
Circle too.
Yeah. Circles
but
are awesome. You know what? Circle. But you don't want it to be a
Yeah.
pure circle. You don't want it to be one of those stupid ovals.
Right.
Get out of here, oval.
What are you supposed to do with that? Yeah. It's got to be a circle or nothing.
Yeah.
What good does that do to anybody anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oval.
What good has an oval ever done? I mean, I guess the office of the president, but
But has that really done good?
yeah, that's it.
When was the last time that office did good? Let's ask that question. Write us if you have an opinion.
Send an email
on
at
that.
cadefriends@gmail.com and say the last good thing that's happened at a oval shaped room.
Yeah.
Any oval shaped room.
Any.
Any oval. What's a good oval? Well, I'll tell you what's a good oval. I'll answer the question. Like an egg shape's kind of cool, where it's kind of like,
But is that an egg or an oval? Like
Well, yeah.
like eggs are kind of bottom.
Yeah, it's like a bottom heavy oval.
Yeah.
Those are cool. That's a cool shape.
It's fine.
I don't think I'll tell you that's going to stylistically come back into fashion, and then they're going to play this, and they're going to have Alex C from Ohio in his little still image over there, and they're going to play this, and they're going to be like, oh, well, Cade was right. The egg shape has come back into style.
Dr. Egghead.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's gonna
Sonic.
take the world by storm. I do think that it's because
It's the future.
It's the future, and
Eggs.
it will go out of fashion again, but it's going to be.
Remember
I think,
egg chairs?
egg chair? Oh, I loved egg
Yeah.
chairs.
I wanted one so bad.
I agree.
They were really expensive, like
Yes.
over $1,000.
Wow.
But like, when was this?
When I wanted one,
Yeah.
like 8th grade,
Okay.
high school, early
I was
high
thinking
school.
like early 2000s was kind of when it's because like 70s was kind of back in like the early 2000s sort of trend of
They're
stuff.
coming back again, buddy,
Yeah.
in a big way with Gen Z.
Well, it's like it was the popish kind of almost 60s, 70s kind of like that bright kind of yeah. Because there was a lot of that. I mean, like
Did those things hang from the ceiling?
so there
of
were
them.
some more.
Some did, and
some had a
stand.
base. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were like often the ones I liked were like white and then some sort of bright color on
Yes,
the inside, so like
same.
an orange or something,
Yep, exactly.
or a yellow or some sort of bright color. Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad we unpacked that. Great question from this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Alex.
we should have you on sometime.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you very much, Alex.
Let's do it.
Great. Well, that's our show, guys. Was that good? Was that good?
I think it
Good.
is.
That's
It was
good.
great.
Great.
It was
well,
like going to therapy.
cancel your therapy for this week, guys. Even including listeners, because hopefully we work through some things here,
Yeah.
or add it to the list or something. One of the two.
But
Or
you-
go to therapy and talk about this podcast.
Oh,
how
yeah.
it made
there
you
you
feel.
go.
Yeah, plug our podcast to your therapist. I
Yeah,
think
we like therapists too here.
yeah.
We really do.
Yeah. And I think that they'd be good people to send in their questions too.
And concerns,
and their
absolutely.
concerns. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Psychoanalyze us in the comment
it.
section.
I'm all for it. Let's go.
Great. Anything you want to plug? Kenna, plug your stuff.
Well, you can find my Instagram at at KinboBin. And that's really the only thing that matters. But I will post all of my travel pictures there. Also, you can check me out on TikTok, Kenna Stimson.
We'll tag you in some of the TikToks we make for you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's basically all travel stuff right now. So. Also, shoot me a message. Be like, hey, travel to this place next. And that's where I'll go.
Yeah. You like traveling.
Love it.
And you take photo? Do you still do freelance stuff of sorts?
Yeah, it's just not my favorite.
Yeah,
I really don't enjoy it as much. I love more candid photos and photos of just like interesting things rather than posed.
People? No, or do you like people?
No.
Okay, good.
I love taking pictures of people, but I much prefer candids.
Yeah.
I prefer that to the pose shots any day, which I mean is right in line with like all my media habits, like preferring documentaries to narrative, preferring.
So you like taking photos of people if they don't know?
That sounds really scary. But yes, in a way, I guess.
Perfect. Good.
They're unaware.
No comment. No comment.
Yeah.
But not nefarious.
Yeah. Just like a voyeuristic type thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay.
No. Just it's gone south. But yeah, a more candid style of photo. Even if they know I'm there, I would prefer them to be doing something that I can just
act like you're
capture
not there. Yeah.
rather than to just sit and, okay, your arm here, your arm here,
Yes.
So.
I understand. I get it.
I'm not creepy.
I get it. You're a creep. Yeah.
I just saw that's where it was going, and it's not true. But yeah, I love taking photos, love capturing moments,
Perfect.
especially while traveling.
Yes. You do really cool stuff too.
You do.
I really liked what your Belize trip.
Thank
recently.
you.
Yeah, always.
This will be a little bit later release, so it won't be as recent, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, by then I might have gone to Portland, because Portland is my next trip, you guys.
Portland,
Cool.
Oregon?
Oregon,
Oh my God. Why are you going to Portland for?
just to give it a shot, see what happens.
I'll tell you, they have this retro arcade there in Portland. It's really cool.
Ooh, I'm down.
Photos of that, yeah. I'll tell you, the architecture of Portland was very kind of plain, as you would imagine. Like it's a very brown city, beige city, but they like do different things within the buildings and that stuff. But yeah, but like the structure of the place is that.
Interesting.
It's kind of odd. It's not as
You would think of it as kind of brightly colored, artsy. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And they have murals and stuff, but that is the bones of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
Well, I'm excited to give it a try and make some TikToks and Instagrams where you all
Go
can
over
see it.
to the sister city across the water there, across the border is Vancouver, Washington. It's what's also called Vancouver. It's kind of a sister city too. It's also pretty cool.
Cool.
Andrew,
Okay.
got anything to plug?
Yeah, I'd like to plug C. Andrew Nichols Photos. And
C stands for Clicky.
C stands for Clicky.
Mr. C. Andrews.
You can find me on Facebook. I also have an Instagram, which is Andrew of Nichols, and I post pretty much anything I take on there. A lot of my photos are photos of where I live, which is Tulsa, and I do stuff like that. I also just post randomly stupid things on my stories. So
Great. Thanks for joining. Got a fun time.
Great time.
I had a great time too.
Yeah, you come back now. You hear? Sorry.
If they send me questions and concerns, I will be back.
Okay, great. Only then. Well, that's been our episode. Bye.
I feel like my episode is going to be depressing. Like unpacking childhood trauma.